Hey everybody, welcome back to the Triple C podcast. This week we are welcoming our guest Brandon Deichler,
Good job with
and
that.
and the theme in his honor is creative, capable competitor.
I'll take that.
He came in second place in photo combat ACBA photo tournament. So congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, Solid Snake was a little bitter because you took him out early, and then right afterwards you had two no shows.
Yep.
So,
That's kind of a bummer though. I hate kind of having that on the ledger. That's a bummer because I worked pretty hard on those, but I like to think I would have made it anyway.
yeah, I was looking at your entries, and all of them were very solid.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So let's see. In the final round, you went against John Connor, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's never a fun number to draw. He was,
So-
I guess he was Patrick Ewing until he ran into me. That's what I keep reading.
So what was your whole experience like? Are there any particular rounds that you either had a really good time or a really bad time with your setup?
It's always amazing to me that the ones that are like single shots seem to take so much longer than like the ones that are panels. Because I did one that had, I think it was 12 panels or 9 panels. I think it was 9 panels, and that came really easy. Like most of that was done in a night. I did some, more staging than I've ever done before, and like planning and everything. But that came so easy, and then it comes to a single shot. You expect you're going to be able to knock out in like a good 3 or 4 hours in one night, and it just doesn't happen. So, I mean, most of my setups for this competition took a couple days. Like, I would shoot for 2 or 3 hours one night, and then I would have something that I wasn't that happy with. My wife would hear me complaining. She would hear me getting really nervous, and then the next day I would revisit it, and I would spend an hour or two, and I would get the shot. It happened almost every time that way.
Yeah, I don't have nearly as much experience as you guys, but I'm getting an echo from somebody.
I think you're good now.
When I was taking shots semi-regularly, if I was having problems, the more I fought with it, the worse it would get. So it just like stop,
Totally.
come back, yeah.
You really do need that distance from it, and then you come back and you're seeing stuff that you didn't see the day before. So that was the big thing that I really learned this time, is that last year I wouldn't say I rushed it intentionally because I wasn't the first one last year, but I just I wasn't in the mindset yet that you really did have to spend a lot of time and make this thing perfect before it was anywhere near competition worthy,
Yeah, and that's what I get frustrated with. Guys like OGs like Slings will say, you guys need to get off the bench and start posing. And so I was like, I'm not going to put up crap work. You know what I mean? It's like I know what it takes. It's very time consuming. So I'm not going to just slap something together.
Boo.
I've seen some of your got you covered ones. You're pretty good. I wish you would do more.
I need to brush off the cobwebs.
Start posing them shits, Todd.
Yeah.
Get on it, Michael. Get on it, Michael.
Yeah.
You got Connor reading comic books, dude. Get Todd posing them shits.
I feel like my collection is at a point now where I can do quite a bit, and I have enough props and accessories and things like that. I need to start getting dioramas put together, either commissioning people or doing my own.
Yeah, getting enough props was big for me too, because for a while I felt like I couldn't post a scene that had a lot going on, or like a real scene, a real props everywhere and everything, and finally getting enough things, getting some barrels, getting some rubble, getting some things like that makes just a huge difference. Because now you can just use a piece of foam board as the ground, a construction paper in the back, throw some stuff in there. It really doesn't have to be this big busy thing. Like you look at what Drew Cameron posted a couple days ago, the Spider Girl. It's unbelievable. And it's just, I think that doesn't even have any props in it. So it's just, if everything else is sound, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, speaking of props, in my last haul video, I forgot to show the barrel that Punker Mike gave me, painted up, and I put a nice, cool warning label on there, and then
Yeah, be careful, that's flammable, bro. So no.
And a really nice homemade palette.
I think I saw those popsicle sticks.
Popsicle sticks and balsa wood.
Yeah, I picked up some popsicle sticks at Hobby Lobby the other day. I got to do
Go to
that.
the dollar store.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they were cheap there too, but.
Okay, cool.
That's another thing I did in Photo Combat though. Like I had never really. I mean, it's not much, but for somebody who's like completely inept at painting and anything like that, being crafty really. Some of those dollar store like slime barrel things. Like I painted one of those up for my first round shot this year, and that was like. I don't know, as simple as that was, it was kind of a big step for me. Instead of just putting this black shiny barrel in there, I put this nice kind of matte green on it, and it made a huge difference. So nice. It gets you sort of like doing something like Photo Combat gets you out of that sort of, like you really think about, instead of just, oh, I'm just going to do a shot tonight, you really have to come up with this full concept and really try to create the whole scene. Makes a big difference.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of those like barrels and industrial stuff, not a lot of people do it because it's kind of like when someone starts something, everyone else just kind of follows in the same vein. But you can get away with that industrial stuff with like, sorry, I keep pausing because I have an echo of myself somewhere.
Are your speakers on?
Mine aren't, no.
I wonder who's echoing.
Anyways, so spray paint, but like industrial colors.
That's a good
like
idea.
How you're saying you did a green, like it doesn't always have to be rusted. Like a lot of times you see like dumpsters will be caked in paint.
Yeah.
And it'll be textury, but it's like a flat color.
Yeah.
Just look for those colors, and as long as it's not like I don't have one next to me, but if you got like a bright blue or something of or I do have it. Like, okay, something like this. It's like you wouldn't see something painted like this, so you look for those types of colors.
Yeah,
I feel
just
like I'm not
seen
explaining
around.
this right, but...
No, I getcha.
Yeah, there's actually this yard down the street from my house. They have like where the tankers or I don't know, like I guess city workers or something, where they have a card where they get gas and they put it on that card or something like that. It's not like a real gas station. It's like particular to people's vehicles. Across from it, they have like a waste facility, and they have a shitload of barrels, and they're different colors. They're like crimson red. There's like rusted ass white ones. There's like, and they have them stacked everywhere, and they have like different kind of like labels on them. So it's kind of cool just seeing other than just black ones that you would see like behind like a restaurant filled with that fucking sludge shit.
Yeah, I'm lucky that my wife is an artist and she has all kinds of acrylic paints and stuff. So I didn't seal it or anything, so it peels off really easily, but it got me through that shot at least. But it was like that perfect green that you'll see in like a state park or something, or like just a park in the city. It was perfect. I just happen to have it around too, but I can't do that rusted stuff. That's insane. Maybe eventually, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah, dude, the sponge. I learned the trick from John Connor and Henry Beltran using the sponge instead of dry brushing, because I used to dry brush everything. It takes so long, and the sponge is so much better. That technique. Like on my first attempt, it looked good. And I was like, oh man, where have I been?
Yeah, I'm guessing dry brushing probably uses a lot more, or wastes a lot more paint too.
It does. Yeah, you waste a lot more paint. And then if you accidentally have one piece of paint that's too thick, then you have a long brush stroke, and then you got to dry brush more to cover it up.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
It's called stippling. When you take the sponge, you're stippling it on.
Stippling?
Stippling.
Stippling. Sweet.
Art class. with
Also,
Michael.
if you want to see, if you want to see someone waste a lot of paint dry brushing, watch Anthony Custom's old videos.
Dude,
He'll just dip the brush.
You're fucking reading my mind.
He dips it in the pot. Yeah, he dips it in the pot, and then he's like, "Well, that's a little bit too much," because he, just straight dunks it. And he just takes a rag. Let me just literally paint all of this off.
Yeah.
Paint for maybe 2 seconds, and it's like he'll burn through a bottle of paint on half of it. No wonder you charge like $400 because you're fucking blowing through paints, dude. Holy shit.
Based off the receipts.
Dang.
Yeah. 90% of the paint ends up on the rag, and then he has a little bit to put on the figure. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Is that the hardest part of learning how to do all this stuff? Because I just painted some like brick walls the other day for the first time, and I put so much paint in my little bowl, and it was like twice as much as I needed. It didn't look like it was enough. I'm horrible at that.
Yeah, and from what I understand, these guys can correct me because I've never painted a dio, but I've watched a lot of Bob's videos. Is get cheap paint and then water it down.
That's a good idea.
And that way it even lasts. You can make it stretch a lot longer.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what you're doing. You don't want to do that if you're dry brushing something, but if you're like a black base coat, make it.
Because you're painting over it anyway.
You can thin it out because you're just going for volume. But for dry brushing, you don't want the paint. You don't want to add water to the paint because you're not going to get the right texture.
It's like counterproductive, watering it down.
Yeah.
Right, but it just depends on what stage you're at. Because sometimes that's the best thing to do, and sometimes it's not.
It's nice to have a group where you can go ask these questions.
Yeah, definitely.
Like perfect. Yeah, and you can just do a search within that group to see, okay, well, how big do bricks have to be, and how big should floorboards be, and things like that. All this information is right there. I can't imagine being one of those people that kind of started doing this, where it's all trial and error.
Yeah, that's why AJ Frost and Bob the Odd were.
It used to be fun.
Doesn't sound like fun.
It used to be there was no drama back then. There was not like all these people stealing each other's ideas. Well, it was fun because you would do something, and then someone else would be like, "Oh, dude, that's sick," but I'm gonna add on to that, and then you should add on to it too. And so it's like this group of people, you built on each other. You weren't competing. You weren't stealing. You were totally like helping. So it was a different atmosphere. Like nowadays. Like if a group, if it tried to start now, it would just fall apart because dudes would be tearing at each other's throats.
What year was that all going on?
Like when Diostructure started?
Yeah, when you guys were all trying to figure out how to do it.
I started. I joined ACBA in 2012, and it was still pretty fresh there. Like, I made friends with AJ pretty quick, and but the
Diostructure group that was started later.
Yeah, but I'm saying AJ and Bob were still kind of pioneers for a while, and then it was probably a year and a half later before they started Diostructure.
It's kind of amazing. It's progressed so much.
I don't know if you remember, it was actually Ian. Yeah, Ian started the group because Ian used to be one of he would buy stuff from everybody. Like he has multiple pieces from Ogun because he would just he was known Ian was a buyer, and so he started the group because he wanted people to go there to talk about it so that he could buy the dioramas from them. And but it was good. It wasn't malicious.
Yeah, brilliant.
It was a good thing. So he started the group and he bounced. Yeah, but he left. Nobody was in this group, and he left Facebook for a long time actually. And that's when Bob and AJ came in, and then I was friends with them, but I wasn't really I didn't really build anything. We were just friends through chatting and stuff. So they added me to the group, They added Al figures to the group. You know, like a lot of the main guys. That's around the time got added, and then it was really just that. It's like we all kind of made each other admins for no reason, just because no one else was in the group, and it that's when that whole thing started. I can't think of a year though, because it maybe 2013, because I don't know if 2012 was 2013, because Dial Structure came way later, and it became something else even after it was originally made. Like, it wasn't made to be what it is now. That was mostly like Bob, AJ, and Al doing that, like spearheading that. And like I was with them when that was all happening, but I try not to ever take credit for that, because I was just kind of like, I didn't really pioneer too much. I was just kind of next to them while they were doing it, you know. But yeah, I was just like, oh, that's cool, I'll try. But yeah, like ACBA started in like 2010. ACBA started, so Dial Structure didn't come along until a couple years later.
Michael, you might need to rejoin the chat. I think you're lagging.
Oh, god damn it. Alright, hold on.
Alright, now that Michael's gone?
Sorry we're keeping you from surfing, Punker Mike.
No, that's cool. I'll go tomorrow. I got tomorrow off, so I'll go tomorrow. Yeah.
So the waves.
If we were gonna record at 8, because high tide peaks like around like 4:30 or 5, so I was gonna go out like at 3:30.
You're saving me from weed whacking.
Alright, can you guys hear me better now?
Yeah.
So far.
Alright, I'll just leave the camera off.
I got an announcement too, dude. I retired the flip phone, and I got a real phone now.
Oh shit!
Look at that.
Damn.
Dang on.
No more caveman.
No more caveman, dude. I got internet on it, bro. Dang.
Sweet.
I could take pictures.
You won't know how you got by.
Yeah. That's intense.
About 6 more weeks, I'll be able to upgrade my phone, so I'm excited.
Alright.
I mean, I've got an Android, but I'm getting a new Android soon. So, Brandon, you are from upstate New York?
Yeah, a lot of people call it upstate. It's like a quarter state up. It's like 2 hours from New York City.
Gotcha.
It's always like a sore spot when people call it upstate, just because everybody does anything above like the Bronx, basically, people call upstate.
Sure.
But yeah, it's like a 2 hour train ride to New York City, so it's awesome.
And you were born and raised up there?
Yep. Born in Poughkeepsie, live in Poughkeepsie now. Yep.
I know of Poughkeepsie because I used to work for IBM.
Oh yeah.
It's big.
It's a huge employer around here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the first IBM plants.
Yep.
And you've never lived outside of the state?
Nope.
Done much traveling?
Yes, I do love to travel. California, I'm very jealous of you guys. California is one of my favorite places. Been there twice. I did a cross-country trip once, and I went out for work once, and I stretched the hell out of the work trip. It was like for like a 3-day conference, and I stayed out there for like a week. I just didn't want to come back.
Nice.
What do you do for work?
I work at college. I do audiovisual work there. So when they sent me out there, it was for like a tech conference, basically. Here's what all the new projectors are, new speakers, things like that. So basically tech support and audiovisual tech work.
Cool. I'm trying to remember. Were you in the World Tournament last year?
No, I haven't done the video stuff yet. That's intimidating. Yeah, I'm gonna have. I know. I'm gonna have to try it this year. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. It's a completely different animal. It feels like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
You know what though? A lot of people get intimidated because it's so much more to take on. But really, you should look at it from the opposite way. Is there's so much more you can accomplish with it.
Yeah.
For me, I'm always butting heads with guys like Pharaoh as a judge, because I think the whole point of the World Tournament is to tell a story, you know, in a very cinematic way in your video. Otherwise, you know, what's the point? What's the point of doing a video unless you're going to be, you know, telling? You're basically making a miniature movie.
So it's like the cinematography versus the setup kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why I pushed so hard to have the cinematography category. And when we were talking to Dave Johnson, he brought up, he's like, yeah, I almost think there should even be a storytelling category as well, because you can have amazing cutouts, amazing posing. Your your props and backdrops are awesome. Your lighting is great, and even have good, you know, camera work. But if you're not telling a story with your camera,
right,
then
it's just a big dumb fight.
Yeah, it just falls flat. You know,
Right.
It's like, what's the point? So, yeah, I'm hoping a lot of you guys that are real up and comers, you and Derek Barecki, I think, have made the most advancement in the shortest amount of time on the page in the group, like in the past year.
Dang, Punker Mike, you hear that? I didn't hear your name on that list, boy.
No, dude, I was a one and done, bro. I peaked too early. Everybody tells me, dude, you peaked too early.
No, well, Punker Mike just came out of nowhere and already had like mad skills because he was in hiding. But you know, I think Punker Mike was grinding in the background, and you know we didn't really see a lot of his early stuff. But these guys, you know, think that they, you know, have been taking constructive criticism. You know, these guys are the perfect example of what we want to see in the group is people who, you know, don't have a whole lot of experience come in and take constructive criticism and become, you know, one of the best competitors there is.
That's the goal.
Yeah, I mean, the people who just, you know, come in the group and because none of us are fucking awesome right off the bat.
Right.
So it's like when you come in and you get your legs knocked out from under you, it's the ones who get back up and say, okay, well that hurt, but I'm gonna fucking keep grinding and put out some good work and you know, and here you go, second place in photo combat. So
I'll take that any day. There is no shame in losing to John Connor.
I lost to him in second round, so yeah, no shame.
I think, honest to God, I think that was the closest for me. Like, if I was judging it, that was probably the closest round in the entire thing. Like, I don't know which one I would have picked.
You know what? I don't think I'm supposed to say, but I'll tell you for the most part on that final round, because for photo combat, the judges are kind of divided and rotate sections, so it's like fair. Like you can't bias anybody. Well, in the final round, all the judges have to vote on the two things. Like your guys' pictures got judged by everyone, and like 80% of the judges tied you guys. Like
Really?
you guys tied the pictures. It was just those last few that kind of broke it.
I need their names real quick. If you could just send me the
I don't remember exactly what I had scored, but I think I tied you guys as well.
It was 2 points, I know, in the overall, and that was out of what, 160? And we were 2 points away. That feels like a win to me.
Right.
You know, I don't get the trophy, but I'll take it.
And it was weird, like, and because the other judges can see like the way the scores break down and everything, and it was so weird that you guys tied so much because your points were in totally different like categories. Like it just balanced out that way. Like
sure.
I think most people scored you like your originality really high, but then he had, you know, some other thing really high, and it was a weird thing where like at first some of the judges were like, all right guys, come on, let's, you know, look at this, what's going on here, they can't be tied, like,
right.
But it was interesting that it worked out that way. So, but that definitely speaks to what you're saying, you know, like you guys were really close and you really, you know, you don't have anything to be disappointed about or anything.
Not even a little bit. Yeah, honestly, if you told me I made it to the third or fourth round this year, I would have been thrilled. I made it to the second round last year and got eliminated, and at the time that felt like a win too. But to make it that much further this year was just unbelievable. To beat Jeremy Lee, are you kidding me? That's, I mean, I'm never gonna. You can't take that away from me.
And what's also impressive is that a lot of your shots were done with mini mates, which are in a lot of ways are pretty challenging to pose. You know, to get in like dramatic, you know, type of poses.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me, it kind of speaks to what Michael was saying. Like, we scored better in different categories, me and John. I would still say that, like, in my work just day to day, like, creativity is probably my best aspect. I don't know that I'm the poser that a lot of other people are, but I think I get good ideas. I just probably need to get a little bit better at executing them and enhancing it with the posing and things like that. But I constantly have ideas, and that got me through this competition. There's no doubt.
Nice.
There was only, I think there was one round. It took me 3 or 4 days to figure out what the hell I was gonna do. And that was at a point where it was, 1 week between due dates, and that is scary. There was a couple other ones I had, 2 shots that I was choosing from, and I would have like 2 or 3 weeks to do that, and that drives you insane on a different level. But
Since I wasn't involved in any of the planning or anything, did competitors know pretty far in advance what the themes were?
you knew all of them up front except for the final one.
Okay.
We thought that round 7 was going to be for us, and it turned out that round 7 was a test your might. So me and John were both planning for the Seven Sins one, and then it turns out that wasn't actually for us. So at that point, you wait. You get a week off, and then a week later you get your theme, and then you have 1 week from that date to think of it, set it up, do it, and submit it. And that was challenging.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the even though there's so much more like production that goes into the tournament, at least in the world tournament, you could theoretically work on your final round for 3 months.
Yep.
Because you get all the rounds announced, 3 months before it's over, at least 3 months, and so you could be, working on that the whole
Right.
time while you're putting together your first and second rounds.
Allows for vacations and things like that too. You can actually plan your life a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as you're not trying to do too much at the last minute, which a lot of people do.
Right. I'm curious how many people actually do all or most of their setups ahead of time like that in a world tournament.
I know Jeremy Lee and I think CJ, they did a lot of prep work, in advance. Bill, how about you, Punker Mike?
I did like all the prep work and everything, like gathering stuff, coming up with ideas, making dios or custom figures, getting everything. I pretty much have like everything, and then like the last like week, that's when I'd start putting everything together. Or maybe, I'd give myself more time. It just depends on how far along I was with everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it usually, like that last week was when I took it like real serious. I started doing test shots. I'd film a little bit and then put it on my editor and kind of see how it looked. Because I have kind of limited space where I could put stuff. I have a decent sized desk, but when it comes to the video shot,
Yeah.
I mean, my first one, in my bedroom, I took apart this shelf that I keep my short boxes on, and I put like this huge dio out, but then the lighting sucked in that room. And I brought all my lights in there, but it wasn't doing it. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to keep doing it in that one. And then that's where I set up a bunch of different scenes on different tables, and I had like a whole fucking mess in my room. It was ridiculous.
That's a good point as far as, because I don't have a huge display space either. Like, you can kind of see it over my shoulder there. It's not that big. And so for the video stuff, at least the way you think, I would imagine, is big. Like, you're thinking of a big physical space that you're going to have to lay everything out in. And if you don't have that, so that's something I'll have to think about if I am going to do the video one.
Yeah, then it comes, you really become a director, like, focusing on particular areas of your dio, like when Dave Johnson's, I don't remember, I think it was his third round, I can't remember which round it was, but the scene he did with the bar. It wasn't a huge display, but he was very good at managing, cropping it and keeping it tight in just specific areas of the display. So it can be done.
Right. Yeah, it's angles and things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Todd's biased though. He's more of a Spielberg fan. If you pull a Shyamalan on him, there goes your points, man.
He's flipping the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more of a Kubrick fan.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I went Kubrick route.
Right.
So I get a good score from Todd. I'm all Kubrick.
Yeah, I loved Punker Mike's work. His first round, I had the most, feedback for him, like what he could do to fix it, and I think he did that well. I mean, I didn't tell him anything specific. I just said, hey, you got to be focused on X, Y, and Z, and that was the thing that I really pushed everybody, is like, you can't shortchange yourself in one category. You got to make sure you have every base covered, because that's how a lot of people shot themselves in the foot, is they forgot a prop or forgot,
or even when it came down to the final 5, look at how close all the scores were. I only beat Shannon Bowie by like point something, and then like Michael, you and Jeremy Lee, weren't you really close too?
No, it was me and
CJ.
CJ.
Right?
Yeah, me and CJ.
That's what I meant. CJ, yeah. Jeremy Lee got first. What the heck? Yeah, CJ.
Yeah.
But everybody's points were really close. So I mean.
So yeah, if you lagged on any
category,
category,
on one thing, yeah.
Yeah,
But you gotta go hard on all subjects.
Yeah, actually, Michael and CJ were tied, but we looked at the overall work that went into the display to split the tie, and CJ just did more work. So
they value cinematography above all else. Remember that, Brandon. Remember.
I will.
Don't even work on the dioramas. Leave it pink and then just adjust it in your cinematography to be dark, and you're golden.
You know what? I think that actually would benefit me, because like one of the things I do at work is video editing. So I love that stuff. I'm not great at the actual like physical filming. I'm used to taking other people who know what they're doing and editing that, but I just have to put myself in that mindset.
Yeah,
I think
lens flares, bro. Lens flares.
No Michael Bay shit.
We want Abrams gratuitous lens flares.
Yeah, Abrams and fucking Michael Bay. Those are the worst. What was I gonna say? Yeah, if you have really shaky hands, man, have your wife film that shit.
Yeah, I probably will. Just tell her what to do. Nah, you got to get over there more.
Yeah,
I said worm's eye view. Worms.
I don't think I did any filming with my hands. I used my tripod the whole time. Even like when
you
I
can't do the up and down so much.
What up and down?
Like just as far as getting down in the scene, getting those dramatic angles, going back up, looking over top.
You just have your tripod loose. Like I think I did that on something, like because I have where the stick like goes all the way up. You just loosen it and you just let it slide down all gently. Oh, I even have one.
You missed
I have it in here. It has a crank on it, so you can even crank it. The thing's a piece of shit, but that's like the coolest part. Because I have like 3 tripods all from the thrift store, and I have 4. 3 of them, they're all shit. Like if you took one characteristic from each of those 3, it'd be one good one, and then I have like a really good one.
You Frankensteined it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I use some of my tripods for light posts and stuff.
This is a pretty nice tripod. I think I got on Amazon for like $30 maybe. And it's got the crank to raise and lower.
Yeah.
And it's got the pan up and down. So it's not a huge investment, but it makes a major difference.
Like you say, the shaky hands.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'll be all
Right.
hopped up on coffee, hot and sweating because of the lights. It's like,
Now with cell phones, I don't know how people like do their whole entire display with their phone. It's like it doesn't seem like it would be stable enough, but some people make it work.
Slings, right?
I think so.
I think all he uses is a phone, which that's incredible.
John Connor too. He takes all his shots with his phone.
Speaking of editing, what software do you use, Punker Mike?
I use iMovie because it came with my laptop. I tried to use Final Cut Pro because my friend bootlegged me a copy, and that shit's fucking savage.
I love Final Cut. That's what I
Huge learning curve.
Oh yeah, because he went to school for like video editing and all this shit. So he like shows me stuff, but then like you don't do it for a while. Like you go a couple months without.
Yep.
editing,
Oh yeah,
I'm just
totally.
like, oh, what does all these buttons do? Like even with iMovie, it's really basic. It's kind of advanced, but like it's really basic. Where like it has like everything everything's like right there on the screen, or you can scroll down. Where like Final Cut, there's like so much stuff like fucking everywhere.
It's funny. A lot of people hate Final Cut 10, the new one, because they simplified it so much. So the one before that was even more complicated and less easy to use, really. Like if you knew where everything was, you could do so much more than you can with the newer one. So it's funny that
probably 2012. Yeah,
I think that's around the time they came out with the newer one.
Okay.
It's almost like iMovie Pro. That was kind of the way that a lot of people made fun of it. But
Okay.
I actually like it a lot now, once I've gotten used to it. But
I use Sony Vegas and love it. It's got a lot of, it doesn't have a lot of super bells and whistles, but it does the meat and potatoes really easily.
You filthy casuals. I run a custom program on Linux that I derive based off of Pixar's algorithms.
Michael's in a dark room snipping pieces of real footage.
That 35 millimeter camera.
Yeah.
Fucking
cinematic.
Wide shot. Well, everything wide angle.
fucking Tarantino.
You're right. Yeah, that's why the judges hate me, is because they can only see my entries in select theaters because of the dimensions.
You gotta go to Tarantino's place.
You have to send them the fucking reel to reel, and they have to go get that shit from the library and rent it to watch your shit.
Yeah. Better get your library cards, boys.
VHS tapes. So how's toy hunting up in your neck of the woods, Brandon?
It's not great. I mean, there's people that are certainly worse off than I am, but I guess it's not a huge thing around here because I'll go to Toys R Us and the same exact. I mean, even figures that aren't necessarily peg warmers are there forever. And I go when I go get my comics on Wednesday. There's a Toys R Us right next to it. Most times I go over there right after. I walk in, I walk to that aisle, I walk out, and there's just nothing. But sometimes we get stuff way ahead of time too. So I don't know. You would think being this close to New York City, we would have the same sort of release schedule, but it's definitely not.
Any like used toy stores or thrift stores or anything like that?
For whatever reason, even my comic store is just crap. They have some like Marvel Select. They don't have pretty much anything else. They do have the Batman animated ones, which I like a lot. Some DC collectibles, but mostly stuff I don't collect and really has no use for ACBA. So there's a couple places that I'll go to once in a while that are a little further away that'll have some decent stuff. Like I got that old school Jim Lee Cyclops where he's all skinny and stuff. I got that for like $30 about a year and a half ago, which was ridiculous. If you look on eBay, at least at that time, it was so much more than that. So I'll get the occasional find like that, but no regular place like that for sure.
You know what? You just reminded me. My comic shop, they've been trying to get better about figures and stuff. And they had got a bunch of rare Marvel Selects, and I was talking to them, and they said they sold them off for like $200 each and whatever. I was like, all right. And then about 2 days ago, I was on eBay, and I came across Ultimate Venom and Ultimate Carnage Selects for like $10. But yet, they were on bid. And I was like, oh, that's sick. So I bid on them, and I was watching them. And the bids went crazy. Like they still have a couple days to go, and they're already like over $60 each. So I was like, whatever. And I go to look, and the seller is my fucking comic book store. And I was like, oh, like I wish I would have checked, because right when they listed them, I should have just gone in and be like, oh, I'll buy both of those for $30 each.
Yeah.
That's a trip.
I was like, fuck, dude. And they're all like, they're brand new, like, because they had got a collection from this guy, and he just had all these brand new selects like stored away.
Yeah.
Ah, dang.
You never got that Carnage, Michael, or what?
The select one, no. Or no, it's the Ultimate Carnage.
I don't even know what that looks like.
Kind of funky design. But yeah, no, it's the Ultimate Venom and Ultimate Carnage, not the new ones that are like the '90s style. These are from they're older. Which makes it worse too, because you don't want to pay too much, because the figure itself is actually kind of bad. It's just really rare. So, yeah.
And Brandon, you collect like a lot of stuff, not just Marvel Legends. I mean, obviously you're into Minimates, but you also do DC.
Those are the big ones. Minimates, Marvel Legends. I have a couple selects, mostly ones that are going to look decent with Legends with the good angles. And the DC collectibles, Batman animated ones. That's pretty much it, though. I'm gonna start going out of my box a little bit. Like some of the Mezco ones that are coming up look really nice. I've never had a Mezco before. I'm a little hot and cold on the real fabric and all that, the soft goods, but I'm getting as a prize actually the Daredevil Mezco, the red one. So I'm excited to see that. Yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Cool.
So, but I'm actually relatively new to collecting in general. It's been probably 2.5, 3 years. I bought like the '90s Toy Biz Beast, about 2.5 years ago, and it was just so much fun. I would just sit on my computer watching something, and I'd just be, having him do handstands and all kinds of stuff. And then I bought a Gambit because he looked awesome too, and then I just totally fell through. So that's kind of where it all started for me.
Yeah, that Beast is such an underrated figure. I didn't get it until towards the end of all the Toy Biz Legends that I was catching up on. I got mine loose from Junior Williams, and got a good deal from him. And I was like, man, like how come I didn't get this figure sooner?
Yep.
So cool. It's one of the few Toy Biz Legends that still holds up.
Totally. The fact that his mouth can move, I mean, the only one we've seen on that recently is, Ghost Rider? I don't think they do that for many other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and the fingers, like, there's just so many different things you can use with that. And some of them are crazy, some of the older ones. Like, they don't need everything they have. But Beast, that's a perfect one to do that with.
Yeah.
But you'll never see that again.
Yep. Yeah. Hold on to your... Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think Beast is one of those, if they remade it, I don't think it would be as good.
No way. There's really no reason.
If they try to reuse like a body mold that they already have, that shit's going to look weird as fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, he'd have to be like a Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, but even like I don't know, like even the style, the way.
You guys don't want the Hyperion '90s Beast?
He's not even furry.
I know, it's just sculpted muscle tone and shit.
Yeah,
painted blue.
Painted lines for the fur.
Yeah, or they just like dry brush, like fucking lighter blue on it.
Yeah, a lot of those specific designs would have to be Build-A-Figures where they're going to actually invest in the sculpt, because they're just Hasbro doesn't, they're not known for their sculpts, Toy Biz, it was all about good sculpts, and for the insane people who still want to say that Toy Biz is better than Hasbro, let me submit to you the Scarlet Witch from Toy Biz.
Oh God,
almost all the females from Toy Biz, with the exception of a few, were just absolute terrible figures.
Who did that Black Widow Winter Soldier 2-pack? I think that was Toy Biz, right?
Hasbro.
That was Hasbro. That was so good. I don't know if you're ever going to get a better Black Widow than that.
The only thing she needed was interchangeable hands and ankle rockers.
Yep. No, but for sometimes like I can't really describe why the Hasbro ones are so much better than the Toy Biz, even though the articulation in a lot of ways is a step back. Sometimes the sculpts are, the paint certainly is, but I've been so happy with every new Hasbro figure the past few years. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, well,
it's the quality of the
plastic.
Jinx.
They don't break either. I'm trying to think if I've ever had a Marvel Legend break on me.
Yeah.
A Hasbro one.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't bought enough yet. They break. It's just you gotta get enough of them.
Keep at it.
Now, see, Michael lives in the fucking middle of the desert, where when he gets his package, it's been almost melted.
Yeah.
It's been baking in the sun for fucking hours, and so, that plastic has gone from such extreme. When he gets out of the package, he's like, "Oh shit, it fucking broke." It's like, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't
sound like Dwight explaining why shit's fucking when people are asking him questions at Toy Fair and shit.
I just know that Michael's one of the few people that have actually had Hasbro figures break right out of the package.
Yeah, what the problem is then.
By the time I get it off the camel, it's just too much, man.
Exactly.
No. You know what it is? All of the ones that have broken that I can think of, they were going to break. Like there was some kind of error with them. Like the plastic had been fused, or the machine hadn't cut a joint the right way. Like none of them broke because of poor use or quality. Yeah. Right. It was some sort of error that led to the break. What
are the ones off the top of your head that you've had problems with?
Well, that broke. Madam Hydra, because her shoulder peg had been fused into the torso plastic.
Oh, you know what? I had that happen. No, was that Mystique was on the same mold, right?
Yeah.
I did have her. It didn't break completely, but something with her elbow, I know I had an issue with.
Oh God, the elbows, the Anya Spider Girl, the black one.
Yeah.
I had 3 of them where both of the arms came off on all 3 of them. They all snapped off the same way. And that one I'm chalking up to bad engineering, which I think they fixed because the newer teenage female molds are fine. Like you can move their arms. But that Black Spider Girl, just fuck, dude. Ugh, horrible.
I know you had a Daredevil break out of the package too. He had it fucked up.
Well,
his elbow was chewed.
That wasn't broken. That was straight up like the injector to mold the plastic didn't even hit the mold, and they just put a blob of plastic where his arm should have been. Yeah, that wasn't a break.
Collector's item. That's gonna be worth something.
Yeah, dude.
Not now. I made a new arm for him.
He's got the little Deadpool hand, bro.
Perfect.
When that Deadpool comes out, bro, you could have sold that. You could have swapped it, bro. You fucked up by fixing it, dude.
That's what I said to Todd. I sent him a picture of the arm out of package, and I was like, "Is it just me, or is your hand really small?"
I did have one, but it was the same thing where it's something happened in the factory. It was the Burger King Iron Man that came with the Guardians. The back of his foot is fucking melted to shit, and it's glob. It's like a glob, but it's the shape of a foot, but it's just a fucking glob. It looked as if I posed it and I was making pancakes, and I was like, oh shit, I posed this foot making pancakes, and then I tried to push it back together. I did get that figure for $5 though. So.
And for anyone who is listening who's not aware, I have a page on Facebook called Marvel Legends Quality Control Issues. So if you get figures that are messed up out of the package, what's her name, Misty Knight with the screwed up eyes, anything broken or backwards, you got the wrong feet on the wrong legs or whatever, join that group and post your pictures there. Try to put pressure on Hasbro to pay more attention to these quality control. They have been a lot better, but
come join. We're close to breaking 10 members.
I know I've seen a post like 4 months ago, dude. Dang, it's freaking popping off over there.
I think we're pushing 300, but
I know I was in there at one point. I don't know if I still am or not. I always liked seeing whatever the main picture was always hysterical.
yeah, it's Zoe Saldana looking at that horrible Gamora movie figure with disgust. She's staring at it with disgust.
As she should.
Yeah, we know your pain, Zoe. Let's see. So now we know what a lot of the unknowns were for the next waves of Marvel Legends. In fact, we still don't know the third wave of Captain America figures. We don't know what the BAF is going to be for that.
There will be a Captain America and an Iron Man. We know that.
Probably, yeah. So of the stuff that's supposed to come out this year, or that we know is coming out this year that hasn't been released, what figures are you most excited about?
I cannot wait for the X-Men. I'm honestly thrilled and surprised that they're even coming out with one. So it seems like that's on a once a year, like we get one set of those a year, maybe an exclusive, and then you get 3 Captain Americas and 2 or 3 Spider-Man waves. That kind of seems to be how it's going.
Yeah. Yeah, there's usually a... in fact, I thought it was just going to be the Doctor Strange wave, but then all of a sudden out of the blue, the X-Men wave got announced. So, in fact, we're supposed to be getting a second X-Men wave. Actually, that was... my source confirmed we are going to get a second X-Men wave. So, a lot of people speculating it might be Professor X in the hover chair, or...
Better be.
Nimrod.
Yeah, Nimrod, or I'm trying to remember what was the other one that people were.
Squirrel Girl.
Shit. Fortunately, according to Dwight, we're not going to get any more mini Build-A-Figures. So that.
Oh man, there goes my chances of a Star-Lord Kitty Pryde.
Dang, I know.
Oh shit.
No, but that's, I mean, the X-Men wave, like, I don't like the Cable design. I'm not a huge Havoc person, but I'm getting that whole wave, no doubt. The rest of that looks amazing. It's a lot of figures I didn't expect we would get, you know. The Wolverine looks incredible.
You seen those Chinese pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Where they're actually posed well?
A minus.
Better than what we're used to with those like black and blue backgrounds or whatever that are just terrible.
Photoshopped to hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it looks like. Well, by the time this podcast airs, they will have already been released. But the only figure that isn't really flying off the pre-orders right now is Bobby Iceman.
Yeah, he looks a little. I don't know. The up-close pictures I was a little less impressed with.
Yeah,
I'm still getting them. I got a whole case, but
only one that I'm regretting not pre-ordering now is Rogue. I wish I had.
You're not going to find her.
Yeah, I wish I'd pulled the trigger on her, but I'm getting 2 Deadpools, 2 Wolverines.
How many Kitty Prydes?
Just one. Just one.
I don't like her head sculpt that much.
Actually, I think looks really good. I'm surprised.
I don't know. It's a little generic looking. I mean, I don't know why that surprises me, but
that's probably why I like it, because it doesn't look like fucking Mockingbird and Gamora and Marvel. It's all the same fucking head.
Yeah, I think he looks a little too young.
She's supposed to be, isn't she?
Well, not so much nowadays.
She's one of those characters that just never ages. She's constantly the young Shadow Cat, even though she's been with the X-Men for
40 years.
Yeah, 40 years.
Yeah.
You remember that 80s pilot, the Pride of the X-Men? Yeah, she never aged since that.
Well, that's her power, dude. She doesn't age, right? That's part of her power.
Yeah.
Secret origins, dude.
Actually, the God, what'd you say? How young the head looks actually got me excited because I was kind of like, that figure looks whatever. And then I realized her costume, the hair is different, but the costume looks similar to her Ultimate appearance. So I could use that with the Ultimate Peter Parker coming out.
Yeah, and that makes sense that she would be young too.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
2 for 1.
You know, I complain about the head sculpt on that one, but the reason the head sculpt is so bad on the Toy Biz one is the reason I never went near it. So it's really not that bad considering. That one was just horrible. That and the Miss Marvel. I would have bought those two like without a second thought if the faces weren't just horrendous.
Let's see. Yeah, unfortunately I was really excited for Tigra, but and for King Cobra, but those look like they've been removed. And instead, we're getting Eel, and still no 100% confirmation we're getting Crossbones, even though that's probably what we're going to get in that.
And that's going to be
wave.
movie Crossbones, right?
We don't know.
They've already done 2 classic ones, pretty much, right?
Yeah, but I'm almost certain they're gonna reuse that nuke body, and just give them a similar vest or a different vest, and then let's see, what else? Then in the second wave of X-Men, we're supposed to be getting Shatterstar, Colossus, Polaris, Sunfire, Dazzler, Cyclops, and another Wolverine.
Cyclops. Just give me Cyclops. That's one I'll buy 2 of for no reason.
Is he like your favorite character?
He's a favorite character. That's probably my single favorite like costume design of all time. Is like silly as it is, like that's literally the costume that made me get into comics.
You're talking about the Jim Lee version?
Yeah. Which that's got to be what it's going to be, right?
Oh, dude, how lame would it be if they did some wonky ass fucking design?
They'll finally give us that Phoenix Cyclops.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what though? Even if that was that, I would take it. I liked that design.
Yeah, but if you're not going to complete the rest of them, I don't know. That's just me. Like I'm not a completionist, but I also wouldn't buy a single figure if I couldn't complete at least a decent portion of the rest of them.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's Phoenix Cyclops or like that blue and white giant X design, I mean, I would take Phoenix Cyclops all day.
Yeah.
Well, that would be even more frustrating if they give you a Jim Lee Cyclops, but then Cable is in that, we already know he's not going to be in his Jim Lee costume.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was a weird choice. Like they're trying to complete teams, it seems like, and then they throw that. I mean, that was used for such a short period of time too, and it's not even a nice design.
Yeah.
Ed McGuinness, right?
Yeah.
What's that?
Ed McGuinness, didn't he come up with that design during that run?
Yep.
Don't be talking shit about
Chubby.
McGuinness.
I like Ed McGuinness, but that is a terrible costume.
Everybody wants to do with Cable with Baby Hope.
Yep, that would have been a good one.
The fuck was I gonna say? Wolverine. Yeah, I'm guessing that it's probably going to be the Jim Lee Wolverine with the blue and yellow. They're just going to do a repaint of the brown suit that's coming out.
Whatever it's going to be, it's just going to be a repaint of that.
But the big question: are they going to do the shoulder pads?
Got to.
They got to, man.
Knowing Hasbro, probably not.
Shoot, no, they got to.
You just get blue shoulders.
Straight up replay. That's crazy.
But if they do the Jim Lee blue and yellow one, then they wouldn't have to do. So then maybe that's something pointing towards them doing that costume instead. Because I don't think he had the shoulder pads for that, right? It was just the yellow, black, and blue one he did.
No, for Jim Lee, he had the because when Jim Lee first jumped on, he was still brown and yellow, and then after a little bit, he put him in the blue and yellow. Oh, hold on, I just fucked up. Okay.
Yeah, there's 2 different blue and yellow ones. No, there's one like from the cartoon. That's the one I'm thinking of. with the pads. But the one where he was wearing the same costume as like Storm and Gambit and all them.
Oh no! Oh God, no! Please don't do that one.
Is that the one you were talking
no.
about, Todd, or no?
No, I thought, didn't they do blue and yellow without the pads at one time?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I could have swore there's a Toy Biz one with blue and yellow. In fact, isn't the one from the Red Hulk wave?
Yeah, but he's got shoulder pads.
I don't know about that.
I think he does.
I'll bet money right now. I bet you a Deadpool.
Ooh. I bet you that Kitty Pryde.
I bet you your Kitty Pryde. You know what? I heard a funny story. The reason why it jogged my mind right now with all that Wolverine stuff was I was reading this thing about just different costumes of Wolverine and how when Jim Lee took on the X-Men, he was really excited, and he had never been a fan of the brown and yellow during the 80s. And so as soon as he got a chance, he changed it back to yellow and blue. And I'm forgetting the artist's name, but the artist who created the brown and yellow costume had come to talk to Jim Lee one day just to congratulate him and blah, blah. And Jim Lee didn't know that was the guy that made the suit. So he was like, yeah, it's just great. You know, I finally got him back in his true costume out of that goofy thing, blah, blah. And then someone told him later on, like, dude, that's so-and-so. He made the brown and yellow suit.
No, I'm thinking of the Hasbro one that came in the same wave as Storm. No, the Puck wave.
Because I was like, yeah, he doesn't have
that's more like an Avengers era one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just painted him on that. Although he doesn't really, I think he does just have the sleeves, right, in the Avengers era. I don't think he has the actual shoulder pads.
Yeah, he didn't have like the, yeah.
Yeah. Astonishing X-Men kind of phased them out a little bit. You know, they were a little less bulky, and then after that, they seemed to disappear.
They're a little more ribbed condom look.
Yeah. Which is a great look.
All their sleeves just all ribbed.
And that horrible 2-pack Wolverine from the when he comes at the Forge, that one was terrible.
That's that's the suit he was talking about. That's the other X-Men.
I forgot they actually made one of that.
Yeah. That Ultimate Wolverine's another terrible one. All those early Hasbro.
Oh, yeah.
It did not start out well.
No.
And now, as much as they reuse molds and stuff, I have to say I'm pretty happy with how they all are. Like, how many figures have we got on the Bucky Cap mold? But the Bucky Cap mold is awesome.
Definitely. Yeah, now, unfortunately, like, when I was at Wisman's and I was looking at his Morbius, they've made changes to that bar that attaches the legs to the crotch is more narrow, so they can't flex their legs out as far now. They fucked with the mold. Yeah. They fucked with that Bucky Cap.
Had it.
Yeah, I mean it worked excellent, and then they fucked with it, so they can't do the splits nearly as well now. So hopefully they realize that that's a mistake.
Right.
You know, I wonder if I don't know. This is pure speculation. But you know how a lot of the Bucky Cap molds were getting like the loose crotches just because they were constantly reusing it. I wonder if they tried shortening that barbell thinking it might tighten it up, which it didn't. You know, anybody that bought recent figures would know. But, you know, I wonder because I can't think of a good reason they would have done that.
It's a good explanation, actually. I mean, that's a good theory.
Because, you know, Lego, they let people know that Lego is one of the most, I don't know the word, but like they're a company, they redo their molds more than like any other company in the world because they want their Legos to be precise. Yeah.
Wow.
Like there's a science behind how to make Legos and stuff, and their molds have to be within like microns and shit. Like they'll examine them under microscopes and stuff.
Like NASA.
Yeah.
Right.
Very small error tolerance.
That's
so
great.
You know, and Hasbro is not like that. They're like, hey, you still got that mold fucking run into the ground, dude.
Well,
that's
you know
why
what?
Legos are so fucking expensive.
I was just going to say you paid for that quality control. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
They're also the most profitable toy company in the world.
Yeah. I would love to buy some Legos, but I can't afford to. Like, I literally couldn't if I wanted to. You buy like a little dinky X-Men set of like the Blackbird, and it's like $65. It's like, are you serious?
Wow.
Did they used to be that expensive? Because I collected
Oh.
Legos as a kid, and I thought they were pretty cheap growing up.
Well, they had like cheaper packs though too, where like
Yeah.
you can get stuff like
Yeah.
the $5 one would be actually a decent amount of stuff. For now, the $5 one is like a dude and like a bike.
And he's a random dude. It's a blind bag, so you don't even know who it is.
And you get like one Lego block, like
Yeah.
one like
Jeez.
this like six peg block. You're like, what? Yeah, because I remember like my mom used to buy me the little boxes, the size of like the animal cracker boxes, and you get like a decent amount of shit in there, or even
Right.
it'd be like it'd be like under $5. You get a bunch of those, you can get fucking something going.
Man, I sold a bunch of Legos when I was getting back into Legends because I gave most of them to my brothers, but I like the Spider-Man movie ones from like Spider-Man 1 through 3. Those things sold for like 30 to 60 bucks per figure.
Damn.
So I was like, fuck yeah, dude, all day. I sold them all. And I was like kind of bittersweet, like hoping I had kept at least one of them. But it's nuts, man.
I was at a thrift store not too long ago, and I came up on a bunch of cool stuff, like random stuff like VHS tapes, I think like figure props and stuff, and I was all proud. And I see behind the counter they had Legos, and they had like not even that big of a bin, and they had like 2 of them, and they wanted like $200 for each bin, and it was filled. It's like a good sized tote or something, but fucking $200?
Just random pieces and stuff.
Yeah, just like filled. And it's like it was like a good size, but it wasn't that big. But I was like,
And you don't even know what
$200? Yeah, it's just fucking like blocks and different pieces. And I was like,
my
you
God.
guys are fucking nuts.
It was fake, man. That was just the top layer. Underneath was all just packing
It went
peanuts.
underground.
Just a couple actual bricks in there.
Pillow feathers.
Yeah, when again they were gone, so someone fucking scooped them.
Do you guys have anything that like you had when you were younger that you wish you could find now, or you wish you still had? You didn't sell it at the yard sale for like $5. Because there's like that old I guess it was Toy Biz back in the day. They had a Blackbird that was for like the little 4-inch.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That would be perfect for mini-mates now, and I can't find it. I've gone to my mom's house I don't know how many times to dig through her basement. I think my stupid nephew took it or something. It would just be perfect. Repaint it or something. I would probably have to have somebody else repaint it, and then you look for it online and it's like, $40 or something.
Isn't there a Marvel Universe one too?
Blackbird? Maybe.
I think so. I think only because I remember Boog had it in his early videos.
Yeah. Yeah, Boog, last time I saw him do a video of his room, he had it hanging up in his room.
Right, with the Sentinels flying after it.
Probably something like that.
Does it look sort of like the movie one?
Probably.
It's blue. I'm pretty sure it's like dark blue.
I'll have to look for that because I need something.
Speaking of an old figure I wish I still had just for sentimental value, and actually it's worth a lot of money now, God, I always forget the name of it, but
Christmas Barbie.
is this
Tropical Barbie.
This robot styled figure that had magnets holding all the limbs together, and he had like a jetpack with rockets on the back. This is like late 70s. And I saw one at Bunky Brothers, Michael, near where you live.
Yeah. You did the Larry David, like, oh.
Yeah.
That's what happened when I saw the price. Because they still had the box. They still had the box, but the box was not in good condition. I mean, not it was in okay for a 40 or 35-year-old toy. And they wanted like $180 for it, some shit like that.
Todd like, how much for it without the magnets?
But God, I can't remember what it's called. I'll probably it'll hit me probably by the time we're done recording. But yeah, I'd love to have, because that was one of my first action figures, and it was, it was just so unique. I mean, you can't do that with most figures where you can like just swap the parts out and stuff like that, because it was all controlled by magnets.
It's very ahead of its time.
Yeah.
That's like such a big thing. Like even on the Mini-Mates now, they advertise the fact, like after those Marvel Masher things, they advertise the fact that you can mix and match and all that, because that's apparently what kids want to do now. They can't just have Cyclops; they have to have Cyclops with Juggernaut arms and Loki legs.
Oh,
yeah. Sometimes those mashers come with really cool parts that you can use on your Legends. I was telling Michael, my Ross has that Mashers Hulk. I think it's Hulk and Loki set 2-pack, where you can take the armor off the Hulk and you can put it on your Smart Hulk that came in that Target 3-pack.
Like the Indestructible Hulk or whatever it was.
Yeah, which he should have come with.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, they could have just used that same armor from the Masher and fucking put it in there. And then you put the Mandroid legs from the knees down on there, and bam, you got that figure. That's what they fucking should have done.
Yeah, there's times where reuse would be good, that they don't do it.
Yeah, and then but my Ross wants like $16 for it. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
and then there's some other the Mashers. The hell's that guy? The Sith from Episode 1.
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul. That vehicle he comes with, that works perfectly with the Black Series.
Yeah, I didn't think Mashers would take off, because I was like, oh, that shit ain't gonna work. Little kids are gonna lose all the fucking parts. So I remember when I was younger, we'd have the Ninja Turtle like at like daycare. I'd go to someone's house. They'd have the Playmates Ninja Turtle figures, and motherfucker would always be losing a leg. I'd be like, yo, where's dude's leg? Like, I don't know. How did you lose his leg, dude? Like, it popped up. Put it back on. Get your dad to like manhandle it back on. I was like, yeah, that Mashers thing ain't gonna work, and that shit's all hot now.
Yeah, sure enough. I see they're doing, Mattel's doing something similar with the wrestling stuff, and they come with decent accessories too. I haven't actually bought any yet, but I'm looking, because occasionally they'll have like a crowbar or something that would work,
Yeah, they go on sale too, those ones.
Yeah.
Mom, not around me, man. They have especially Kmart. They like never put anything on clearance. It's just they've just
We'll be there forever.
No. Kmart will never put anything on clearance.
They need that money.
They'll make it more expensive. I've seen shit that sits there, and instead of like, oh, they're gonna mark that down, they mark it up like $3. Like, what? Like someone's all, fuck it, I gotta buy it now before it gets even higher or something.
They're trying, exactly. They're trying reverse psychology.
Except for the MeWorld stuff. That MeWorld stuff, it did go on sale.
I seen a post someone did on Reddit. It was they went to their local Kmart talking about this exact same thing. And they went to the electronics department, and they still had brand new Nintendo 64 games on the shelf, marked at $60 each.
That's tight.
And they were like thick, like dirty, and they had been there since release of Nintendo 64. This was this year that the guy went.
Nothing good either. Probably like Madden 96 or something.
Dude, it was a football game, yeah.
I knew it, dude. Yeah, Blitz. Blitz
was awesome.
Yeah, Blitz was that. Hey, those wrestling masters, though, I actually made like a custom guy out of them.
Oh, I love that one that you did.
I had to buy 2 of them. They were on sale, though. It was buy one, get one 50% off. And I had to buy 2 of them because one guy came with the tank top and fucking neon green pants. The other guy came with fucking like camo, or it was green and I painted the camo on. And he came with some wacky ass shirt. No, he came beefing it. He didn't have a shirt on. So he's beefing it. And then, yeah, the punker guy, he had the tank top, but the fucking neon green pants. I was like, God damn it.
Oh, that's from that picture you did from that setup that you took the idea from that guy on Instagram, huh? The true run.
Shit.
Those things have decent articulation, the creator wrestler thing?
No. I mean, he can split out like that. He's got single jointed. The boots come off because it's like a masher.
Yeah.
The arm, he doesn't have upper bicep. His arm, it pops off because it's a masher.
Yeah.
But it just has a single jointed elbow.
Horrible though.
Swivel at the wrist. The only thing is, like, his hips are a little loose.
Yeah.
Like,
To get him in any decent pose.
yeah, so like when I had to do a walk, like when I did that come up picture at True, and I had to get him in a walking pose, I had to fold up a fucking sticky note and stick it between his cheek right here
To
and
wedge
his
it.
leg. Yeah, because he wouldn't fucking stay put. But
Yeah,
it's all right. They're pretty cheap.
I
When you-
love
when you
that.
get 'em on
That's one of
sale.
my favorite ACBA shots.
Thank you.
Damn.
That's a bold statement.
That's like those guys. That's like guys who've been in the group for 3 days and they're like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest picture I've ever seen."
Yeah.
Yo,
It's
bro.
like, dude, you've seen 10 pictures.
Yo, bro. I've been here for 3 weeks, and you just won the World Championship tournament for next year. Hands down with that shot.
Won the internet.
Right. The rest of you guys can stop
Bro, get him a
posting now.
trophy
This
real
guy
quick.
took it.
Hey, Book, can you get this guy a trophy real quick?
Send him a T-shirt.
Cut him the check.
I love it because it's original. It's like something that should have been done a long time ago. You know what I mean?
Nah, I seen 3 other dudes on Instagram do it already.
Yeah, I seen 3 other guys on Instagram do it like 4 months after me and be like, oh, look what I came up with.
Yeah,
True run.
No fair, dude. Punker Mike's got a DeLorean with a flux capacitor. He just went back in time.
Come up.
Come up.
Shit.
All right. Enough of the phony baloney junk. We want the real nitty gritty. Brandon, what are you reading, and what's your favorite title?
Currently, Uncanny X-Men is probably my favorite currently.
Ooh, not the one we were looking for, but maybe again next week.
All right, back to the baloney. No.
Yeah.
But you know, to be honest, I'm not feeling much of the post Secret Wars Marvel stuff right now. I don't know why.
Shit, post Secret Wars, post fucking Secret Invasion.
No, you know what? I actually Marvel Now got a lot of crap, but I actually like Marvel Now quite a bit. A lot of good stuff going on there. New Avengers, that whole Hickman run was unbelievable. Hawkeye, I love Hawkeye. That hasn't been the same since. Yeah. Jeff Lemire took over that after Fraction, and he kind of like aped it, tried to ape that style, and it just didn't really work with me. It was just too like quippy. I hate when like. That's why I'm like hot and cold on Bendis stuff too. It's just everything's a joke a minute. Everything's quippy. Reminds me of watching like The Big Bang Theory or something.
Oh yeah, Bendis, man, they should have put the bullet in the back years ago.
Whoa.
Oh.
Extreme.
Well, I love Ultimate Spider-Man, okay? Especially when it was like just coming out and I was reading it. I was like, man, this writer is great. And then, God, man, they just too much. He needs a break. They need to send him on vacation or something.
Yeah, I'm so hot and cold on him because like when I hear he's doing an event, I know that the build-up's going to be awesome, and I know that the finale is going to be terrible. It's going to be like a whole lot of build-up with just literally nothing happening. Nothing changes. There's no massive anything. A lot of speech, a lot of dialogue. But like I have to say that I do like the occasion. Like all new X-Men, I loved. I understand a lot of people didn't, but I love that whole arc pretty much. It lost a little bit towards the end, but I like that a lot. Iron Man that he's writing right now has been pretty good, but I have to read the first issue or whatever he does because I don't know if it's going to be great or trash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You know what?
I just know him from Guardians. It started out great and then ended horribly.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Michael.
I was gonna say I didn't think about it till right now, but I wonder if he got kind of like Mark Bagley, how they did Ultimate Spider-Man for so long that it kind of burned their style. Like when Mark left that to go do the Trinity comics, everybody looked young because he just didn't know, like he couldn't draw not young people anymore.
Yeah.
And I wonder if Bendis did
You
the
can only write young
dialogue.
people. Yeah, that could
Right.
because if you read Daredevil, like that's a completely different book. I mean, it's still kind of dialogue heavy, but it's not like everybody's a teenage girl. Yeah, that's a great point.
Because Bagley, man, I mean, I love him to death, but that Trinity run right after, I was like, oh God, look at Batman.
Yeah. And even he's doing, I think, all new X-Men right now, and it's terrible. I mean, that's more than just the art, but that's the writing. But yeah, I don't know. There's certain people like I don't know if it's my taste change or if they change or don't change. But some people I just they kind of lose me over time. Mark Bagley is definitely one of them. David Finch, I used to love David Finch, and I can't even read a book that he does now.
Well, here's a deal breaker. How do you like Humberto Ramos?
I love Humberto Ramos.
Get the fuck out. Todd, cut the feed. Cut the Oh my God.
You know what it is? It brings me back to my childhood. I love that like kinetic, like I'm not even an anime guy at all, but I like things that have like a tinge of that style, a little bit of like Joe Madura type of style to it. And I think honestly the colors probably sell me more than anything with art.
The colors?
Yeah.
That's no, Olazabas is inker. His colorist is Delgado. Does his
Delgado?
Colors.
Yep, and he's one of the best.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
they're great. Olazaba and Delgado, great. Ramos, oh man.
I like Ramos. I get why people don't, but I do like him. I'm sorry.
Have you met him in person?
I have actually.
Oh my God. And you still like him?
In fact, what's wrong with him? He's a jerk or something?
Oh my God, yes, he's a jerk.
Really? Well, you know what? It was the New York Comic Con where they just try to get people through the line, So maybe that's why. I'm sorry to tell you that there was a line for him, but.
Oh God. You waited in line for it? That'd be like I'd be like, all right, wait in line, and then an hour later you come up to me and I just slap you in the face.
You have pretty strong feelings about him.
You know why? Okay, I'll tell you why. His style was interesting. Okay, I didn't like it. I didn't dislike it. It was very raw, very cool, stylized. So I go to meet him the first time. I've met this dude like 4 times. And he is just such a dick. And I'm like, God, why is this guy such a dick? I couldn't figure it out. Well, then every con I see, he's just more and more popular because they're having him do bigger and bigger titles.
He's Spider-Man now, yeah.
Yeah, and exactly like when like towards the end of the Amazing stuff, and then when the Superior came out and he was the main guy on that for a while, is when he really blew up.
Yeah.
Now, and I really think it just like I don't think he intentionally let it get to him, but I think it's creeped into him where he's like very. It's just gone to his head and
hot shit, basically.
Yeah, and you see Olazaba and Delgado, and they totally live in this dude's shadow now, like literally. And if you watch them, like, well, I don't know when you would watch them in real life, but I watched them in real life. And when they're sketching, like just to sketch by themselves, they're emulating his style now, and they're trying to do their own stuff with his style.
Right.
And they just look sad because they're just straight up in this dude's shadow, and he just don't give a shit anymore. And he won't even look at you. He'll just sign your shit, send you away.
Now, is this like a well-known thing, or is this like just your personal what you've noticed?
Michael says he watches him, so I mean,
yeah.
he's going to have on.
He was
I can't confirm because everyone who I've talked to who's met him in person is kind of like you, where they just met him very briefly.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was just lucky or not. Like I got to be around him for like several hours, like multiple different times. And he just burned me. And then at one part, I had went up to talk to him about some art stuff, and he just straight blew me off and was like laughing in my face. And I was just like, "Fuck, dude!" Like,
yeah, I can see why that would put you off of somebody for sure.
Yeah, he burned. And plus, and then it was one of those things where I walk away and I'm like, man, you already ain't even all that great anyways. If Mark Bagley was here.
Mark Bagley was here.
If Mark Bagley was here, he'd kick your ass, man. Fuck him.
That fool.
Hey, fuck you.
Fuck you. Humberto Ramos, dude, he goes to like every con though.
He does.
Like literally every con. Every con I've ever been to, he's been there.
If he starts charging for signatures at like New York Comic Con, I'll let you know.
You're gonna have to buy a ticket. You have to wait in line and buy a ticket, and he's only there for an hour. So good luck. And then when you get the ticket, he rips your ticket. Oh, fuck you.
You know who was not that fun to meet was Chris Claremont. You guys ever run into him at a con or anything?
No, no.
He's not a particularly friendly man. I mean, I get it. He's an older guy. He's probably, I don't know, probably sick of doing the conventions and stuff, but you pay to meet him, you pay to get his signature and everything, and like he'll be on the phone while he's doing it and everything. Like it's pretty bad.
Hey.
Yeah.
Do you get? Hey, Umberto Ramos was on the phone for people too. Now that you mention it,
That's all right. That would put me off of him for sure. Because like, if you're at the post office and you're on the phone, you are the worst kind of human being. Like if you're at the counter and the person's trying to ask you questions and there's a line of people, you're the worst.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
that's Umberto Ramos when he's mailing out his commissions, dude.
Dude, I literally, because I work at a sales counter.
Yep.
When people are fucking with their phone, dude, that's when I turn my back and I start working on other shit. And then they're like, "Oh, you're not gonna help me?" I'm like, well,
Imagine if you, yeah, exactly. Imagine
you're fucking helping yourself, bitch.
Yeah. If you have to ask a question more than once and you're on the sales end.
Oh, because I have to get people's vehicle information. So I'm like, oh, this, and like ask some of their information, and then they're just like, oh, I get that finger, dude. I'm like, I'm going to the back, dude. I'm taking a piss and getting some water, dude. You're gonna have to wait now, bitch.
Taking my 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You show him the Umberto Ramos signature on the wall, say never again, and you just walk away. So who's have you had the most positive experience meeting at a convention?
Not to harp on the Hawkeye thing again, but Matt Fraction was awesome. Because he doesn't always come to New York. I guess he doesn't do a ton of conventions anymore. But right during his Hawkeye run, he was there for, I think he was at like the Image booth at New York Comic Con. And you had to, like, first thing in the morning, as soon as you get in, you go to the Image booth and you get a wristband type thing. So he was saying on Twitter, like, forget the wristbands. They're making me do this. I really don't want to do that. Just show up and I will sign as many as I possibly can. And he made good on his word because I sure as hell didn't get one of those wristbands. And just showed up there, and he's like pretty much being ushered away from the booth, and he's surrounded by people, and he's signing everything. He's talking to people. Like, there's that fine line between like taking too long with each person and just, mailing it in. And I think he was like the best I've seen as far as like juggling that.
Nice.
So he was a really good guy.
So it wasn't Kendall Gray meeting him at a con, right? That wasn't it.
That was a pretty positive experience, though.
He kept trying to give you his autograph, and you're like, no, I'm good.
I'm really not interested, man. No, it was good meeting a bunch of those guys, too, though. I met Poncho, I met Brandosaurus Rex, I met Kendall, Mike Fleck I met this past year. That was really cool, meeting a bunch of them.
Nice.
And then I met A.C.B.A. too. So you meet all these people who you probably know their work, but you don't know who they are. You don't know their names, that sort of thing. So there was this group of like 20 of us, and I could probably tell you who like 5 or 6 of those were, but I probably know them by name from the page. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably Harvey and
Greg.
Light 105.
Fernando.
Yeah, Fernando I did meet too. Yeah, Greg I think was there. I don't think I talked to him too much.
The tall, angry-looking one.
Yeah. Jake Jensen was there too.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So that was cool. That was my first ACBA meetup, and that was before I was any good too. Like I look back at my stuff, I'm surprised anybody was nice to me back in October.
You thought they were just gonna kick your dick in or something when they met you? Get out of here.
Or just why reach out to meet me? I don't even know.
All right, hold up. Let me check your shit real quick.
Let me do a quick search.
Nah, keep grinding, bro. Maybe next year.
Is that a Matt Fraction signature? Nerd. No, dude, it's really cool. In fact, I think I remember a lot of them saying they wish you could have hung out longer. Like you had to go.
Yeah, I had to go back
or
that
something.
same night. It was also when the Mets were in the World Series. I'm a huge Mets fan. and it was like I gotta watch. I can't not.
Nice.
But it wasn't the World Series yet, but it was the playoffs. So, and I have other friends down there because they're only 2 hours away. So I always get pulled in a million different directions when I'm down there. But it was really cool to spend a few hours with those guys, though.
Sweet.
I'm lucky to be that close to people. I know there's a lot of people that are stuck out in like the Midwest with nobody in sight. And there's the California group, there's the New York City group, there's the Chicago guys. But so I'm very lucky in that way.
Yeah, that's cool, man. This is kind of still, a dream, but I bring it up because there's been other things where an idea has come up and it's like, oh, that'll never happen, but then it does happen. So I want to propose this, but a lot of dudes talking about starting an ACBA convention, and everyone just meets up.
Awesome.
Like, would you, if there was an ACBA convention in Las Vegas, would you fly out to it?
Yeah, I think I would.
All right, good to know.
That would be awesome.
Hey, Michael, when they had that thing in LA with the pictures, did you go to that?
What picture? What do you mean?
Didn't they have like an art gallery in LA?
Yeah. Oh, I did not go, but they sent me the pictures.
Way to support them.
Yeah, I framed all the pictures, and then I passed off the pictures to Henry. I was kind of like a middleman. Like, I was the middleman for a lot of it, but I was not at the actual event the day of. No.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
I remember when that shit was going down. I was gonna try to go, but I was like really new to the group. I was like really new, and I was just like, man, like
right?
Yeah, dude. And I was like, it's a 2-hour drive, and I was just like, oh, just to go out there, and like I don't even know really to expect. Like now, I would do that shit in a heartbeat, but then I was just like, oh yeah, I don't know.
You thought they're gonna be mean to you too?
Yeah,
dude. Let you in the door?
I didn't want my dick getting kicked in the dirt and shit.
They had a figure at the door, and if you couldn't pose it right, you weren't allowed in.
There was like you had to pick the right figure, the right cutout, and the right pose. You didn't do it, your dick's getting kicked in the dirt.
Hugger Mike was taking his hat off, wiping the sweat, like, all right, I got this.
Everybody's crowded around, just giving me the eye. Oh shit! He grabbed the Deadpool.
This guy can't be
stupid with it.
Oh, guy's a phony.
Yeah, get him out of here.
He grabbed that Figma boner guy.
Woody.
Oh, nice.
But no, I would definitely do that. That would be so cool.
Yeah, that should be tight.
Yeah, a convention would be cool, but we gotta kind of coordinate it with a comic book convention or a toy convention of some kind, because otherwise people are gonna get bored and they're just gonna go out to the fucking casinos and drink and gamble, strip clubs and
mobbing.
You gotta have draw, you know what I mean? So like we can go to the convention and then hang out, have a hangout space as well, and do ACBA and shit.
Yeah, I don't know how much it costs to rent like a table at a convention. Like maybe not one of the major conventions, but rent a convention table for a weekend, and then have wherever it is, have 3 or 4 guys from ACBA, ACBA banner. That would be a good way to start that, I would think.
Yeah, we definitely want to start doing that. Where like when I was at Silicon Valley Comic Con, afterwards we come to the realization, because we had press passes and stuff. And we're thinking, why didn't we put have a panel?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Even if like 15 people come to it, like that's something, It gets the name out there. No, that would be awesome. Because that stuff would wow people too, People that just walk by, and you have it near where people are actually selling action figures and stuff. You sell the cutouts there, you sell T-shirts there, you sell all that,
Oh yeah, we've been doing that at our I think
the comic
Fabio started it. Yeah, and then me and Josh Cheney have been doing that at our local shop, and we weren't sure if it was even doing anything. But when Josh went to go pick up his diorama, they had actually sold a ton of figures because of him, and they've been asking for new displays in there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I wish my comic store didn't kind of suck, because they're just. I got nowhere around here that would do that, I don't think. But I know
yeah.
Muhammad said I think he's got a place near him that he sets stuff up too. And when he doesn't have something set up, he says people ask him where it is, and when he's setting up a new one, and that's great.
Yeah, totally. He's not too far from you as well, right? Oh no, he's in Massachusetts.
He's in Massachusetts, but that's not really that far. That's maybe 3 hours, 3.5 hours, something like that. I think Logan Stark's up there too.
That's what's nice about the East Coast is like you guys are so close to each other. I mean, it's like a 7-hour drive to fucking Bunker Mike's house.
Yeah, it's a funny thing. You hear people are from California, you kind of think that they're going to be close by, but that's really not the case.
Yeah.
Right. We kind of, there's like almost 2 or 3 California groups. You got like the Bay Area guys, the LA guys, and then everyone who tries to make it to either one of those meetups.
I'm like in the middle. I'm Central California, so there's like nobody around me.
Where's like Sacramento? Is that further north?
That's, that's north.
I'm a little over an hour north of Sacramento.
North, okay, wow.
Yeah, I'm in between Sacramento and Reno.
911.
You may be familiar.
Yeah, I'm an hour from Tahoe, an hour from Reno, an hour from Sacramento, and 3 hours from San Francisco.
That's not too bad though.
No.
3 hours.
San Jose as well, so I go down at least once a year down there and try to hang out with the guys. San Jose is kind of like the halfway point for a lot of, well, San Francisco is about the same. It's just kind of traffic is always a bitch trying to get in and out of the city. But
yeah, I've been to San Francisco and Anaheim, and I spent a little time in LA. But LA was terrible because I was driving. But
It sucks.
went to Dodger Stadium.
That's what they don't tell you on the brochures. LA's gross, dude.
Yeah. Make it sound so glamorous, but
Right. After you leave that one street, the rest of LA is like, oh my god.
Or like MapQuest would be like, oh, go down this way, and you're like, where the fuck am I? Because they're doing a lot of construction, like over, because there's this part like Little Tokyo, and they're doing a lot of construction, so we had to take like this backwoods ass way, and we're going through fucking like it was like all like abandoned warehouses and like graffiti and shit, and I was like, man, this is some hood ass area right here. And then out of nowhere you get to some nice area, but it's funny. It was like legitimate, like people have to like come here and like set up like a whole little thing to do some of the graffiti pieces. Like this whole wall was just fucking blasted. Well, that's fucking gnarly. They just probably just don't give a fuck right here then.
is the area by Frankenson's pretty shady or what?
No.
Nah, not at all.
You know why? Because it's actually weird. So technically it is its own city, except that there's, to my knowledge, there's no residential shit there. And it's literally, the name of the area is called the City of Industry. Okay. And it's like business buildings.
It's all warehouses, right?
Yeah, kind of. That's kind of what Frankenson's is, really. Yeah. Like, it's a warehouse full of, like, convention stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so no, that area is actually nice. It's just shit parking because it's all businesses around. Like, there's no
parking lots.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, fucking, park a couple miles away and then just Uber over to Frankenson's.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, just drive around for 30 minutes and find a spot.
yeah, use the fucking
Me and Bree
tank of gas.
Me and Bree
I'll bitch for an hour. Yeah.
Me and Bree will fight for a little bit, find a spot, and then we're good.
And you won't know if it's an illegal parking spot or not.
Right.
Sign's really unclear.
Diego was sweating last time because he's parked in a snake spot, and he's just like, yeah, I should probably get going. And then I was making it worse because, like I was saying, or like, so there's like a parking lot, and then parking on the street, and then you go down, there's other businesses, and I don't think they're open on the weekends, and there's signs everywhere that says, like, you can't park here unless you work here. But people fucking park there anyway. But the first time we went, we were driving around, I was all, fuck it, I'm just going to park all the way down here and walk. Like, I don't mind walking. So I'm cruising this parking lot, and I'll just kind of park next to some other cars. Maybe they think I work here. Fucking 3 tow trucks pull up, just start fucking ripping cars out, like, wait, quick. And I'm like, dude. I don't live around here. What the fuck am I gonna do? They take my truck. Like, where do I even go to get it?
Start hooping it, man.
I know. Like, sorry. Like, what would you even do? Like, what the fuck?
Dude, that was...
Did you take my car?
You can't. You're screwed, man. One time I had cops take my car in Ontario, and I was just out there, man. Like, all right, hey, Mom, I'm at a Carl's Jr., so I don't know what's up. But,
Because what would you do? Like, call a bunch of different tow truck places? Yo, did you steal my shit?
Yeah.
you know?
You gotta hope there's not too many different companies. That's about it. That's happened to me in Albany.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
You go to a
LA
bar,
is-
you have a good time, you come out, and where the hell's my car?
You know?
And then you spend the next 2 hours getting to the place, paying your bill, all that fun stuff.
You're like, why is all the shit in my glove box gone?
My door's unlocked too?
So, Brandon, did you invest in articulated icons?
I did. I'm getting 3 of the Red Ninjas. So I didn't invest like I'm no devoted Legion or anything like that, but that was kind of a big step for me actually. Going to a different line, especially one that's technically unproven, but they look awesome. And I figured a couple ninjas are easy enough to use with just about anybody. So I'm excited for those.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Hell yeah.
What did you guys get? You got full cases coming?
I'm devoted Legion Plus.
Jesus.
I'm hoping for a sticker.
Motherfucking devoted Legion Plus.
Got a card and everything.
They sent me
Yeah.
my fucking crown.
Yeah. Todd's camera's gonna cut and come back. He's gonna be all shogunned out.
I think we threatened this episode we were going to wear the T-shirts tied as ninja hoods.
Dude, you should have told me, dude. I do a pro T-shirt ninja hood.
We're gonna do that when they actually get released.
When we all have our packages.
Yeah,
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
we're all gonna wear ninja masks for the entire episode.
I got in trouble. I used to do that at school all the time. I'd take my shirt off and ninja. And everybody, how do you do that? So then everybody be beef trying to figure out. The hell yeah.
That'd be big trouble in Little Sacramento.
Yeah, I've been waiting for articulated samurai for so long. I had to double up on some of those guys.
I actually, after watching like random dude mess with that prototype figure, and then I
That
kind of
noodle?
went back. Yeah, the noodle, the clay noodle. I went back and I was kind of messing around on the articulated icons page, just kind of re-looking at some of the stuff, and I had to go in and buy a couple more.
I haven't looked in a while, and that's by design because I'll do the exact same thing.
Because I was like, and because it wasn't that much more. Like they charge you like $2.50 more. Then you got to pay a little more for shipping though.
Yeah.
So I was like, Then I was like, when they come with the second series, I'm gonna go crazy on that, but I might not have the same stuff as the first series.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it.
They got you.
No, they got me. They got me. And plus waiting, dude, you're just seeing all that shit. It's like, fuck, dude, I need it. I need it.
I needs it.
I needs it.
Man, I'm waiting for them to reveal the arm packs, man. My mutation disease.
Ooh, my mutation. Brandon, you were hard into like '90s cartoons, like animated series,
yeah.
X-Men, Spider-Man. Which was your favorite?
Back in the day, probably X-Men.
Yeah.
When I was younger, because I was always a Marvel person, especially the X-Men. Now, I mean, it's clear that Batman is the superior cartoon. I mean, I loved that then too, but I think X-Men was definitely my big one. I'm still such a sucker for like colors. Like I'm still such an easy person to sell to in that way. Like I love a picture that's nice and bright, and that's exactly what the X-Men was. And then you get Batman that's all fucking dark and but those were so good, and nothing is ever gonna live up to that for me. It almost
that
ruined
intro
me
of
for life.
Batman.
Yeah.
It's that intro alone. You're just like, fuck.
Yep. The actual like orchestral music. You have an actual like full orchestra doing the entire soundtrack. That's incredible.
Just the behind the scenes on those too. Like, I don't know, cause I'm a sucker for hand drawn shit.
Yep.
Like I love the hand drawn. Like newer cartoons, I can't really fuck with.
Yeah.
But like the old like hand drawn, like especially like animated series, that was a huge thing for me.
Yep.
Like they had it at Costco, all the seasons, and they were like $12 or $13. And I was like, I'm taking all these home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Binge watching.
So I'm Batman the Animated Series. I still watch that, like, at least I would say I average at least a couple episodes a week.
Hell yeah.
Sometimes I won't watch any. Sometimes I'll watch like 4 or 5 in a sitting. I've been reading through the like the tie-in comics and everything, which are like pretty damn good.
Batman Adventures.
Yeah, Batman Adventures. They did a couple other ones after that. It was like Batman and Robin Adventures, Gotham Adventures, and I've gotten so many picture ideas reading through those the past like 3-4 months. It's ridiculous. That saved me a couple rounds in Photo Combat too, actually.
Read your comics, kids.
It's exactly right. Like the Noir one, it was the second to last round. Like I wouldn't have beaten Jeremy Lee if I hadn't. Like I'm like I have no idea what I'm gonna do for Noir. That is so far out of my wheelhouse. And then I started reading Batman Black and White comics. I figured short stories, I can read through them quickly. Maybe I'll get a bunch of ideas. Literally, the first comic I read was like perfect Noir, and that's the shot I ended up going with. It was perfect.
Nice.
I wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't read comics like regularly, no doubt.
Oh man, you would have been. You think you were in trouble before? If John Connor actually read comic books, you'd have been toast.
Hey.
No,
He's texting me right now. He text me like last time when you're talking shit. He fucking hit me up.
That dude talks so much shit. Oh my god.
What the fuck did he just say about me? I went out. I got Lone Cub and Wolf Volume 5 right now. Put him on the phone.
What did he say?
He hit you with those Doc Holliday memes, huh?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of the referee from Celebrity Deathmatch. There was nothing like nothing offensive or anything like that, but he's just like every single day out of the blue he would send me, every couple hours actually, he would just send me some like PM that would either have a picture or just some sort of generic trash talk phrase. Whatever works for you.
Rise and grind, motherfucker.
He's a character.
Whenever the episode we do with him drops, there's a freaking bombshell that John didn't read comic books. He didn't watch no movies. He didn't watch no shows.
He's trying to roast Todd on his sandals, and then Wistman hits him with, "Do you even read, bro?" And then fucking, flip the table on him.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Sneak peek.
I just dropped the library card on the ground, and no more words were spoken.
That's hard to believe, though. Honestly, that's like I honestly I don't think I would be able to do this if I didn't read. I'm not that creative, I guess, just by nature. I got to get inspired by stuff.
That gets your juices flowing, though.
Yeah.
Reading comics and artwork and all that, because that's how I got my my idea for my final round of World Championship tournament with Usagi Yojimbo. I had a different idea that I was going with, that I thought about it, because when we got the packet or whatever and I had the 3 rounds, I write down a bunch of ideas and I cycle through them in my brain and I kind of add and take away. Well, I had one that I thought was really good. I was going to do with G.I. Joes and Cobra, and Bree's just like, "Nah, dude, don't do that. Do something else. Like, don't do that." And I was like, "What do you mean don't do that? It's tight." She's just like, "Nah." She's just like, "Nah." And I was like, "All right, fuck you then." I fucking started ripping through comics, and I fucking went to Usagi Yojimbo, and I just started reading some issues, found the figure that I needed to make the custom, made that, and then I was like, "All right, fucking game time."
She was like, "I don't know the lingo of the group. How do I tell you your shit's whack?"
WTGO.
Like, this off. Nah, fam.
It's nice to have somebody to bounce that stuff off of, isn't it?
Yeah.
I do with my wife all the time. I'll show her something that I'm like ready to post, and she'll be looking at it like I'm expecting her to be wowed, and she'll just be like, "What's the cutout doesn't look very good. It's a little big, or and she'll point out something, and then I have to go back and redo it. I cannot. If the first person I'm showing it to doesn't think it's great, then what the hell am I doing?
That's what they're great for.
Yeah, especially like when you've been working on something for a couple hours, your back hurts, you're just done. But
you're sweating under those lights.
Fuck, it'll be raining outside, bro, and I'll have my windows open and the fan, and I'll be in a tank top, and I'll be sweating still, dude.
I also bought a smoke machine. So like Photo Combat got me to spend so much money, it's ridiculous. Especially the ones where like you don't have a concept until like 3 days into the week you have, and then so you have to Amazon Prime something. It's here 2 days later, and then you have that limited amount of time to work with it. But like I was filling up the entire house with like this fake ass smoke, and I can't believe like someone actually puts up with me doing that.
Dude, I feel you. I got rid of one because finally Dave Johnson with all his pictures, I was like, I gotta get one, and I got a little baby one.
See, that's your problem.
Well, no, I turned it on, and the whole house filled with smoke immediately. I had to like open everything, and I took it out, and my wife came home and she's like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on?"
What are you doing?
Yeah, and I was like,
"You're Snoop Dogg concert in here."
And I was like, "It's just this little machine, I swear." And she's like, "Yeah, right." And I show her, it's the smallest one they had. And she was like, "All right, well, you know, whatever." So I tried again, and it was way too much. I returned it at the store, and they're like, "Does it not work?" I was like, "Fuck no, this thing's great. Put this on display." Well.
Yeah. I think I bought the same one that they had.
Yeah.
I've gotten burned so many times by buying like a cheap one, and I just figured I'd go for a nice decent one. It wasn't that expensive. I think it was 30 something maybe.
Nice.
But
and it's not too crazy. It ain't smoking you out of there.
No, it's like, you know, I had the fans on, the windows open, all that, and the hardest thing is like I'm not usually like a burst person, like with where you just hold the button down and it takes like 5 or 6 shots or whatever. But I had such a hard time getting the smoke to look right that way. Mm-hmm. Where like it almost, yeah, it didn't make any sense. And like the last shot I would take would be the best one after I had already turned the machine off, and it was just sort of like, you know, around. But it's very hard to photograph with. So the people that do like the rain effects and stuff too, and the snow effects, that stuff's incredible. Especially if you've ever tried that. I can't do that stuff. I tried it with snow once, did like this fucking flour mix, and it was messy and horrible. Had my wife helping me, it was terrible. And then you see like CJ doing crazy shit like that. I don't understand it. It's all the exposure.
The trick is you gotta pee on it.
Is that it?
Yeah. You guys should all try it. You know, I heard it's a great technique.
Yeah. Dang, you're telling us all kinds of good art secrets, dude.
It's all over your display. It's great.
Oh, is that what you put in your wet palette?
Yeah.
Secret ingredient.
That's why I'm not a brush licker anymore.
Shit. Yeah, fucking Brandon was Brendan was skilled at making dios and shit. He'd be fucking crushing people.
Yeah, that stuff is so far beyond me. I'm trying. I'm hoping to get better, but I don't know. It's not one of those things that comes natural to me for sure. But doing the bricks, I just did this basic brick wall. It's not even like weathered or anything, and it's horrible. It's just a horrible process.
And I'm not looking forward to getting into that and seeing how bad my shit's gonna look.
Well, that's it. You tried once. Just give it up, man. It ain't for you.
I'm gonna start my own dio group.
You don't like the criticism.
Fuck you, get.
Yep.
My diorama group's gonna be Instagram exclusive.
Yep.
And I'm gonna make it private.
And everybody's getting participation trophies.
You all get participation brick walls.
You're gonna make them trophies through the phone.
I'm gonna make really bad baseball caps for everybody to wear too.
Yeah. Look like they've been sat on for a week before they were worn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you gotta look like Vanilla Ice.
Did I tell you, Todd? Did I tell you that the real Vanilla Ice came to my city not too long ago?
Van Winkle?
Todd said it like it's his boy. Oh shit, man, Winkle. Oh snap. That's my boy.
Rob Van Winkle? The one and only?
I knew you'd be down, Todd. I knew it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Todd's got a word to your mother, or the fucking word to your mother jacket, or what?
Yeah.
Fucking all airbrushed and shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's why they made Todd an admin. Bug was like, "Can you handle it?" And he's like, "If you got a problem, I'll solve it."
You seen Todd's high school pic, dude? He had like the white guy flat top with the cut.
with
Yeah.
with the razor lines across the head.
Steps.
Steps.
Yeah.
I seen it, man.
Brendan, how old are you?
29.
Okay.
Yep.
He knows about Vanilla Ice, Todd.
I do.
I don't know. You guys were in fucking diapers when that shit was going down.
I've seen the Ninja Turtles movies. My mom actually, when she was younger, got kicked out of a Vanilla Ice concert.
Oh my god.
No flashing allowed, bro.
I never asked for details, but.
What?
And then the guard that kicked her out ended up being her neighbor. I don't think she ever told him.
Oh. That was one advantage.
Yeah,
that's one advantage to having
the process that she remembered his face that well, I guess.
Dang, that's tight.
That's one advantage having really old parents is I don't have any kind of crazy stories to worry about.
Your parents were too busy walking uphill both ways to school. They didn't have time for craziness.
Exactly. Especially my father. My dad was 44 when I was born, and he talked about in college in Wisconsin pushing a Hudson in the snow. It's like, Jesus, Dad, how fucking old are you?
Is that what you're gonna tell him on his deathbed, Todd? Jesus, Dad.
So snow, you're probably no stranger to snow up there.
Yeah, every couple years we just get pounded. Like there was 2 years in a row actually. Halloween got canceled. Like any plans you had for Halloween just because we were buried under snow. So even in October, you're not really safe from that.
No.
I used to like it until I had a driveway to shovel.
Yeah.
I love the snow.
When I lived in Minnesota, it would always snow on my birthday, which is the day before Halloween.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck.
That's not fun.
No. I hate the Midwest. I'm never going back. Yeah. Sorry for all you Midwest people listening, but fuck that place.
They don't have to.
I thought you were going to say, but fuck you. I was on that side, guys, but fuck you.
It's hot and humid in the summertime and miserable cold and tons of snow and ice in the winter.
We're in a pretty decent spot. Like we get all 4 seasons, but none of them are as mild as other people get, or as severe as other people get.
Yeah, it's pretty rough over here. It's like 70 degrees like every day. And then in the afternoon, it's like windy and.
I would take 75 degrees every day of my life if I could. I could in California, but
not in my neck, man.
Take long showers and water my lawn, though.
Oh yeah.
That's your wish, man, where he gets free water. He just leaves his water running, so he has background noise.
Yeah.
I can't sleep. Let me turn all the faucets on.
I live like on Tatooine though, Brandon. This past week was I thought it was actually 102. Come to find out the sensor was broken. When I was talking to guys, it was 105 here.
Jesus.
All week, and I didn't have AC because it's been broken, and it was like 95 degrees inside of the house.
That's disgusting.
With the fans going. Yeah. So yesterday I got the new AC installed, so today's been great. But yeah, not all California is sunshine and rainbows.
Might as well live in Arizona. It'd be cheaper.
Yeah. Might as well, man.
Yeah, last week it was in the 90s here. I was fucking dying, and then this week, fortunately, started cooling off. It was like yesterday was awesome. It was I think the high was 80, and it was windy, or had a nice steady breeze.
It brings you back down to 75. Feels like 75.
Exactly. Yeah, on Monday and Tuesday I was wearing a towel over my neck and shoulders to fucking stay cool.
Yeah, you
They're
guys
called
turn into
do-rags,
pansies out there too.
What's that?
I said you guys turn into pansies out there too. Like when it
Oh,
does
yeah.
get a little cool or a little hot.
Oh yeah, dude. 40 degrees. I'm
Yeah,
in 3 sweaters.
Yeah, you
You
get
guys
to see
are
your
fucking-
breath, bro. When you see your breath and shit.
Did you
It's
guys
not-
ever go to New York Comic Con?
Not Comic-Con, but I've been to New York like 4 times.
Yeah.
I've never been to. Only part of the East Coast I've been to is Florida and Georgia.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, that's the South. That's the South, and I've been to every state in the South except for the Carolinas and Virginia, and every state in the West except for North Dakota.
Which, why would you?
Yeah, there's no reason to go there.
That's not even the one that has Mount Rushmore, right? That's South
No,
Dakota?
South Dakota, yeah. And even that's not great. I mean, it's like they're on Interstate 80, which is the main reason why I was I was moving from Minnesota to Washington State, and there's all these billboards like every 2 miles that say the advertising different attractions. Wall Drug is an actual name of a town named after a drugstore. It's a big attraction, and they
It's like
have
they sponsor a highway things, but for the entire town.
yeah, exactly, and they have all these signs like "Wide Awake Rattlesnakes."
Oh, good.
Yeah, and
Sign me up.
live prairie dogs. It's like, oh man, so glad we're spending
Well, that-
fucking hours on this flat highway where there's nothing to look at, because I'm so excited to see these fucking prairie dogs and rattlesnakes.
Well, I'll tell you, it was a lot more hopping than the dead prairie dog exhibit.
You should have seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, world's largest corn cobs and just all sorts of fucking crazy stupid.
Dude, did
shit.
you buy one?
Wait, like to eat? Like you can buy one and you eat it, or they just have like some fucking like hard ass one on display, like cornucopia style?
There's a place that is made like the walls, the outside of the building is made out of corn cobs.
That's gross.
Yeah.
The
It's
fourth
just
of
one-
the day.
It's one giant corn cob. They got mounted on the wall with the whole story of how the guy's great grandfather shot it down in the woods.
He's been fucking hucking corn.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else you guys wanted to ask Brandon?
Have you ever read Invincible?
I have not read Invincible. That is on my list.
God.
I know. I'm kind of like a closed-minded Marvel guy.
They let you in the shop?
I know. Well, I'm telling you, my shop sucks. It's probably
Oh,
part of the problem.
God.
Yeah, Walking Dead I read. I haven't read since like issue 101 on that though.
You're
Kinda
like 60 issues behind.
I know, because they started fucking double shipping and stuff.
Oh,
That was
my
ridiculous.
God.
But yeah, I haven't read Invincible. I am a sucker for like the universes. Like that's what I like about Marvel. They have multiple books in the same universe. So I've wanted to read like Valiant. You guys read Valiant at all?
A little bit.
I've heard good things about it, but Invincible I guess does some of that though too, right? The shared universes and stuff.
Well, kind of, but I really
Series
think
maybe, or
I think it was just because when Invincible started, Image was still kind of like they weren't like they were still recovering after that whole '90s collapse.
yeah,
And so I think it was a shared universe more because it kind of had to be like
just to compete.
like in some issues like oh there's a funeral and Savage Dragon is in attendance like okay but and there have been a few characters that spun off from Invincible to have their own series, but really if you just read the main book, I mean you're good.
It's easy to keep track of that way, which is nice.
Yeah, but I highly, especially if you even liked the Walking Dead comics even a little bit, you're gonna love the Invincible book.
Okay, I'm glad you said even a little bit because I'm not as much as I've liked most of the Walking Dead. I'm not the biggest Kirkman guy in the world. Like he's kind of
Uh-huh.
hot and cold for me. Uh,
He's a writer that's kind of weird because you really have to stick with him for him to be good, and it's weird to explain to people because like if you pick up any given issue of something that Kirkman's wrote, you're not gonna like it. Like
yeah,
1, 2 issues, you're gonna be like, what the fuck is this? But it's really like if you read 10, 20, 50 issues of something he wrote, it'll be amazing.
he is
And
like a
it's
bingey kind of writer. I know that.
yeah, so
Kind of
like
works best that
Invincible.
way.
I came into Invincible really late, like when they were still
Yeah,
like
you're
in
talking shit about me.
the yeah, and I think they're still in the 80s or 90s of issues, and so luckily I got to binge from the beginning up till then, and then ever since then it's just been poking the iron in my gut, waiting for the next issue, next issue. Like
I
that's
don't.
my #1 comic every month.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened to me with The Walking Dead is that I blew through everything up to like 100, 10. I think I made it up to like 104, 105, something like that. And then I don't know, it's hard for me to read that issue to issue. I kind of have to wait for trades, and then I wait too long, and then suddenly it's like this mound of stuff I have to catch up on. And
Hmm.
it's such a horrible life I have.
Yeah, the afflictions we choose.
Exactly. I'm cursed.
But read Invincible.
Yeah, I will. I will do that.
Do
I
it.
just
It's
I
great.
just resubscribed to Marvel Unlimited, so I'm like, trying to read 6 different things there too.
Oh yeah.
That thing is dangerous.
You didn't get your Pepper Potts figure?
I did, and I sold that shit for like the price of the subscription. So
Oh moly.
yeah, I wouldn't have done it otherwise. Because I got the Marvel Plus for like it ended up costing me like $15 or something for a year. I will take that every time because the figures suck too.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, there's no other way to get it.
No, but I don't know. I'm kind of really selective with the figures I get too. Like if I don't like a character, I'm probably not going to get the figure unless it's awesome. Like Ghost Rider, that figure is so good. I couldn't give a shit about Ghost Rider. So
Hmm.
I bought that. I use that a lot. But so yeah, I'm kind of really selective with the figures I get though.
I'm the same way. I'm not
You're
a
the
You
same.
don't.
completist. Yeah, I'm not a completist like whatsoever. If I don't like that character, I ain't fucking with it.
No.
Unless I need the bath piece, and then I'll wait till that shit's like $9.99 or like $8, like something random. There's like a stack of Target stickers on it. Like, all right, finally time.
Yeah, I just got Red Guardian for $12.50 shipped, and without the back piece, and then I got Nuke from Hasbro Toy Shop on eBay for it's like $21.50, and I'm trying to unload the torso right now. Some guy was willing to buy it for 17 shipped, but he's waffling right now. So
This podcast is really just a way for you to reach more people so you can sell your Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
get my box. Let me get my
Yeah.
shoebox full of big pieces, bro.
yeah, only a fucking month later after it airs though. So
Have you guys started seeing that new wave pop up at like your WalMarts and shit?
Nope.
No. I've seen everything like this whole week.
I've
Went to
seen
Walmart.
one dude in California. So you're saying you saw him?
Yeah, I got them. They're
You're that
here.
one dude.
I went to one Walmart and then they had everybody but Black Panther and then no Nick Fury. I was like shit. And then someone had put it like instead of just like hanging on the peg, they had it like just on top.
Hide
And I
them
was like, oh,
shits.
what is this sucker? And I was like, oh, come up. And then yesterday there's another Walmart going to like where my parents live, which is just like the next town over. And right when I walk in the aisle, the sucker was just waiting for me. Another Fury.
Nice.
Come up.
I don't have a Walmart near me, and I don't think they've been hitting targets yet. So
No.
Target takes forever to get shit. At least my Target.
Now they do. It cycles. Like Target was on top for a while, and then
Yep.
Walmart, Target. So
there was a couple waves I got them before most people. Yeah, but that was like a couple years ago now.
right.
Like the first, that was Toys R Us actually. The Jubilee wave X-Men. Like I drove 45 minutes to go get those because I hate doing it. I hate being that guy, but I will call them up and say, hey, can you have somebody go look to see if you have this in? I'm not driving 45 minutes just on a hunch, you know? And they had it. I ended up getting all 4 of those. Well, no, I didn't get Strife because I could give a shit about Strife. But so I had that Storm. I had that Jubilee completed, that Cyclops, Magneto. That was one of my big finds around here for sure. I usually don't get that lucky.
Nice.
Yeah, it's middle of June when we're recording this, and the X-Men wave is going to be probably the exception. It will have probably a new DPCI if Target ever gets it, but I keep stressing to people because we're just now seeing Target, Walgreens. I haven't seen Toys R Us do a sale or Kmart do any sales, but a lot of these stores are putting Legends on sale, and they have to because they have
Clearing
too
out,
much.
right.
Yeah, they have way too much inventory. They're probably not even going to get. Target's probably not even going to get the Civil War wave.
Machine Man, Hawkeye, and Misty Knight are hanging out at my Target.
Yeah, there's I have a lot of they just got new stock of the Absorbing Man. I'm just now seeing Absorbing Man like in the past month showing up at my Target and Kmart. Good.
Do you think they're gonna wise up, noticing that people, like when it first comes out, people want that shit so bad, and then they just settle and buy it online, and then finally, like a month later, they have it like nothing but, and then it sits there. Like even Chameleon, remember when he first came out? That was like the hot commodity.
Yep.
And then fucking everybody's buying them online and shit, and then now like Target gets them in all the time. There's a bunch there, and like he just sits there.
Yeah, Michael was talking about this a long time ago. Is that we're starting to see kind of a saturation in the market, where I think the stores are going to be they're going to stop buying so many cases from Hasbro. Only one of the problems is that to get a really good price, to get basically cases for cheap, they have to buy a whole bunch of them. So by the time that they get this huge shipment, because it's got to go, it's going to come straight from China to whatever retailer's warehouse, like distribution center, and they get tons of them, and then they got to piecemeal them out to all the stores. So it takes so much longer than say like Big Bad Toy Store or any of these other online sellers, because they're getting a much smaller shipment sent directly to them instead of these huge distribution centers that are all over the country. So
I was actually impressed with the market saturation for like the Hydra and AIM soldiers a few years ago. I thought those were going to be so hard to find, at least around me. I bought too many because they keep looking me in the eyes every time I'd go in. I ended up getting like 6 or 7 of each, that's not something I normally do.
Yeah, not around here. I was lucky enough to get them right when they first came out, and me and Michael we talked about it on the podcast when they first came out. Trying to coordinate, like, okay, what did you find? What did I find? And that kind of stuff. And I never saw them really pop up after that.
It's amazing how patchy it is, like how patchy the whole process is. Like that there aren't like, here's the date they actually hit. Maybe your store won't put them out right away, but it's hard to believe that it's not more coordinated.
Yeah, California used to be pretty good for getting waves, especially getting waves early, but ever since the whole fiasco with the ports, we hardly get anything new until I think well after it's been released. So go ahead.
I was gonna say those AIM and Hydras, they were popping up even when we were getting Pizza Spidey. They were still getting new cases of those. I was seeing them at Toys R Us and fucking Walmart and shit.
Wow.
But I didn't really care, so I didn't buy any of them. But there's fucking, I've seen a bunch of them.
I'm glad they're wising up though. Like with the Shield's agents, they're doing cases of just those. Like that's how I'm getting them. I can't wait for them to show up at the stores. They haven't yet. I don't know that I'm going to be able to find them when they do. So I ordered like 4 off of Dorkside, free shipping. But why wouldn't I do that?
Yeah.
So it's going to work out for Hasbro, I imagine.
Yeah, the past year they've been really smart about offering certain wholesalers to buy a full case of whatever figure they wanted. So like Black Panther, a lot of people don't want the whole wave, but a lot of people would just want Black Panther, so the store will just order a case of 8, and then bam, they're able to make everybody happy. So
Except for that guy that spent $650 on the crappy fucking first one that came out on eBay.
Effects.
The one with the bobblehead.
Based on their stock, I would think that my Toys R Us ordered 8, the cases of 8 for Captain America and what's her name, Sharon Carter, because that's like all that's there. There's like 1 Whirlwind and like 8 of everything else.
Yeah.
Figures I'm not touching until they're like half price at best.
Yeah, that cap's pretty nice though.
It is nice. I definitely want it. I'm just not paying $20 or whatever it is for it. No
for
way.
Wolf Cap or what?
Yeah.
Hide it, bro. Get that shit in 2 years. Get it for 3 cents.
I'm thinking about it.
3 cents.
I feel like I would get caught.
You seen Josh?
Yeah. The Donatello?
Yeah.
3 cents.
No, you know what, Brandon? I got a new thing, and I'll give you the idea first so you can try it out. So you're gonna want to bring some plastic bags, okay?
All right.
Like a gallon bag. You go in there, whatever you want to stuff, you get it, you put it in a plastic bag so it's sealed. You go to the bathroom and you lift the toilet lid in the back, you drop it in the back of that thing, close the lid. Now plastic takes like 500 years to break down in water.
It's true.
So you'll be good for those first 2.
Sounds good. Nobody's cleaning those things.
Yeah,
so.
nobody cleans the bathroom, so you're good.
Yeah. You come back, you pop the lid, you got your stack of shit floating there.
It's bulletproof.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay,
Let me know how that goes, man.
You know what? Though, like
Wolf Cap.
I see these people, doing that, stashing them or whatever. But I never see even really old figures go on clearance in my stores. Like I don't know if every store does that, especially down to like 3 cents or whatever the hell it is.
Right. That's fucked up.
It is.
You know those, God, what's the name of them? Those tubes? They're like the sciencey tubes that Toys R Us had.
I remember those, yeah. When Toys R Us had that huge clearance,
yeah,
they're doing like, it got up to like 95% off of shit.
It's like Dio stuff.
Yeah, it was like a science thing, like where you would make your own candy, but it was like disgusting.
Like,
yeah. The crystal candy type thing.
Yeah, and they had this tube that was like, it's sick for like Mini-Mates, Marvel Universe, Legends, everything. And they were to $10, and they clearanced them to $1, and people cleared them out. But at my store, no one was buying them still, so I grabbed one for $1. I was like, all right. And it was really cool. I came home, messed with it, like, this is dope. So I went back the next week, and they clearanced it to $1 each, and they were still there. And I was like, I don't know. So I came back, and they had them for 10 cents each.
Oh my god.
And so I was like, you know what? All right, I'll take 5 of them. So I take 5. I go up there, and she's like, all right, 50 cents or whatever, 55 cents. And I'm like, hey, I don't have cash. I'll use my card. And she's like, you can't.
Yeah, minimum.
Yeah, we have like a $2 minimum or something. And so I went and I grabbed the rest of the things. But there wasn't enough of them at 10 cents to reach the $2 minimum.
You just
pack of gum.
$2.
So I actually I forgot what I grabbed. I grabbed something else, but yeah, I couldn't even meet the $2 minimum with a handful of those tubes.
Do you have any left?
You
got any available?
No,
no.
Because I had sold like the extras and stuff for like 50 cents each or whatever. Yeah, I don't think I do. I mean, if I do, I'll let you know. I'll look around.
Yeah, it sucks for me since I live I live in a small town. I'm an hour from Toys R Us and about 40 minutes from Walmart. Otherwise, all I have is Target and Walgreens and Kmart. So
Walgreens has been a lot better though, at least mine.
Yeah. So I got this thing from Amazon. It's the same price that Walmart has it. It's $10. It was
Is that
$10.
Ghostbusters thing?
Yeah,
I saw somebody post about that the other day. That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering what it looked like. I saw it on your haul video, but I was like, what the fuck is that? Todd's playing with fucking little kid toys now?
Yeah, the only thing is that
Close that shit.
the stickers are on. I scraped off the Ghostbuster symbol one in the middle there, but yeah, with a little bit of paint, it's look pretty sweet. Especially just hanging out in the background.
Lab equipment or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
totally.
So $10 is kind of steep, but hopefully they'll go on clearance
Where did you find that?
on Amazon. Yeah, they have them at Walmart for same price, $10.
That shit'll go on sale.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Amazon's good about that.
Yeah. So let me get a figure so you can see the size.
Not bad at all.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's about 8 inches.
Man, who's this guy think he is? Al Chang over here?
Yeah. Hey, I shot out Al Chang and Frank Ochoa in my Franco Ochoa in my whole video.
Man.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on with us, Brandon.
Of course. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, especially short notice. I had to try to work around my horrible technical problems I've been having at home with my internet.
I'm glad it's going well.
Yeah, during the day it seems to work fine for some reason, but it's creeping up on 5 p.m. It might crash on me any minute now.
Right at 5, dude. People are just going to hop on Facebook and shit. It's going to eat up all the Wi-Fi.
Dial-up internet.
That's when your neighbor gets home and starts leeching the line.
Yeah.
I want to know those movies.
Yeah. Your internet provider calls you up. What's with all this midget donkey porn? What?
Yep. He's logging it. He's seeing the Wi-Fi rectangular, huh? Okay, I'm on that.
He's all, come up!
And with that, we'll triple see you next time.
Peace.